Present.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Is here. She's in the rest.
I know she is present in the building. She doesn't happen to be present in the room. That's okay. However, she is here. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Present.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Presente.
Councilman Harrison is excused from this meeting this evening. Vice President Williams.
Present y presente.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg. Myself, Brandon Garcia, Municipal Clerk, present. Mr. Edward Kaloji, Legislative Counsel. Thank you. And Mr. Bridges is excused from this meeting this evening. And Madam President, at this time, if you like, I can read the invocation.
Please do, sir.
Certainly. Almighty God, who holds the fate of man and nation, we most humbly beseech thee to bless this, our city, these deliberations, and these thy servants, that they may act with wisdom and understanding for the good of our community and thy greater glory. Amen.
Amen.
And Madam President, as I understand it, you do have a wish to amend the agenda this evening.
Yes, sir.
If you want to go ahead and explain that amendment very quickly.
Yes, for this evening, I would like to amend the agenda. We will no longer have the space for public comment for agenda items only. Instead, public comment will be moved up to that very spot, which is spot 8 on the agenda after presentations.
Understood. And Madam President, if you want to take a motion to amend the agendas this evening, as you just mentioned.
May I have a motion, please, to amend the agenda as I just stated?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. We will move public comment to come take place directly after presentations, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And Madam President, at this time then, as I believe we have some recognitions, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. And if, I'll leave it to you and the council to introduce those recognitions.
Councilwoman Gonzalez, please proceed.
Thank you. Council President, thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being present. Today, we just wish to recognize and honor the Senior Kappa Affairs Committee of Trenton Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And just a background, I'm going to read a little bit about the work that they do, but these young men, I'm going to call them young men, do a lot of work in our schools with our children. Most are retired, but they do not take their time just to be, have leisure time. They are actually in the community doing work, and especially with some of our elders and our young people. So I just want to personally say thank you for all of the work that you all do. As my D9 brothers, I'm honored. June is Father's Day. We normally celebrate Father's Day in the month of June, so I figured it'd be only right that we recognize these men at the top of our June meeting. So, with that being said, we're going to say Trenton City Council special recognition honoring the Senior Kappa Affairs of Trenton Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Whereas the Trenton Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, chartered on April 6, 1949, has for more than 77 years exemplified the fraternity's guiding principle of achievement in every field of human endeavor, serving as a steadfast pillar of leadership, scholarship, and community advancement throughout the city of Trenton and beyond. And whereas under the leadership of Paul Mark Amanish Robinson, the chapter continues to uplift youth, families, and seniors through mentoring, educational enrichment, civic engagement, and service initiatives that strengthen the social and cultural fabric of our city. And whereas the chapter's Senior Kappa Affairs Committee, chaired with distinction by Brother Bernard Smoots, provides purposeful engagement, fellowship, and leadership opportunities for fraternity members aged 60 and above, honoring these esteemed legends of Kappa whose wisdom, mentorship, and lifelong commitment continue to inspire the next generation. And whereas Senior Kappa Week, observed from May 11th through May 16th, is a dedicated celebration recognizing extraordinary contributions of these distinguished men who historically have volunteered more than 1,000 hours annually and who in the current fraternal year have surpassed all previous benchmarks with more than 3,000 hours of service year to date, demonstrating a commitment to the betterment of Trenton and Mercer County. And whereas the chapter's outreach efforts supporting North 25 Senior Housing Complex have resulted in the packing and delivering of more than 6,000 bags of non-perishable food through the partnership with Mercer Street Friends Food Bank, And whereas this year the committee provided exceptional educational enrichments at the Dr. Copeland Junior Elementary School, where 65 students participated in hands-on learning experiences, including mock trials, drone navigation, flight simulation, and a chess tournament, expanding critical thinking, confidence, and exposure to future-focused career pathways. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Trenton, County of Mercer, hereby congratulates and honors the senior men of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated during their May Week, May 11 through 16, 2026, for your leadership, extraordinary service, and enduring commitment to uplifting the community. So we just want to personally say thank you. We're going to take a quick photo with you all. It's not that many, so we could probably go in the corner, right? Want to do corner? I don't know if anyone else would like to say anything, but we just want to say congratulations. If the Hallmark wants to say a thank you really quickly. Hallmark?
Like short.
Thank you. Thank you for this recognition. It's an honor to serve with these men, the senior Kappas. I'm 9 months away from becoming a senior Kappa, so I got a lot to look up to. It's amazing the work that they do on a weekly basis. I'm always chasing them around trying to figure out where they're at. They could be at North 25. They could be over at the Copeland School. They could be helping with our Guy Wright program. So hats off to these gentlemen. And thank you for the work that you do on behalf of the Trenton Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. And thank you to the council for your recognition.
Thank you. Want to say anything or no? Anyone would like to? So we're just going to meet in this corner and take a quick photo. Okay, Mr. Garcia, we can proceed.
Certainly, Madam President. At this time, well, Madam President, would you like to deal with the zoning board member that we have that wishes to speak to to come before council, or should we go to the presentation this evening?
Let's go ahead and go to the zoning board member. I believe
Certainly.
we have Mr. Michael Hurtado, who
Yes.
was an alternate for zoning board, and I believe somebody has stepped down, and he is interested in moving up in the space as he is the first alternate.
Correct.
So please.
Mr. Hurtado, if you'd like to come to the podium. And at the council president's wish, or when the council president says, you can open the floor for any questions, or if there's any comments that you'd like to address to council.
Mr. Hurtado, just very briefly, under a minute, please just let us know why you are interested, why you were interested in proceeding to be a zoning board member, moving up from an alternate at this time, please.
Sure. Madam President, members of the council, thank you for your time. Last year, when this body appointed me as first alternate, I approached it with a sense of responsibility for helping foster economic development, as well as acting as a steward of the things that make our different neighborhoods and zones unique, all while following the municipal land use law and the goals of the city's master plan. I've approached every meeting, every application, and every witness with the same standard, and that is compliance with the law and an awareness of the consequences of our decisions. My appointment as a regular member would ensure continuity as well as a seamless transition, and I have demonstrated that commitment by attending every meeting, even when all 7 members are present, by reviewing and noting material, and when possible, visiting the sites of applications. And I have never been apprehensive to ask any question of any witness in the pursuit of clarity and what is in the best interests of the people. My experience as first alternate will allow me to step into the role of a regular member without interruption to the board's work. And as a public administration graduate and a 4th generation Trentonian with no plans to leave, I have an appreciation for the law and an affection for this city that informs every decision I make. And I thank this body once again for consideration, and I would be honored to continue my service to the city.
Thank you, Mr. Hurtado. And at this time, do any council colleagues have any questions for Mr. Hurtado? Councilwoman Frisbee.
Good evening. Thank you, Council President. So, Mr. Hurtado, I don't have any questions. I actually just wanted to commend you. I've had the opportunity to sit in on some of the meetings that you have actually been taking part of, and I thank you for your expertise, your experiences, and your professionalism. You are really very knowledgeable in this area, and I'm grateful for it. We are at a benefit with having you on this board. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hurtado, we will vote on this evening, but thank you very much for your interest, your continued support of the city of Trenton, and your tireless efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia, we may proceed to the presentation of alpha shredding at this time.
Certainly. If the presenters, there they are, and they are approaching.
For the record, for the council members, this is an agenda item tonight. This is a resolution.
Madam President, just to make sure that the presenters know exactly how much time they're going to have this evening.
10 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Arnold Lakin. I'm with the law firm of Schaeferman, Lakin, Bloomstein, and Blader, and I'm here this evening on behalf of Alpha Shredding. I'm here with Ken Woodruff, who is our environmental consultant. Very briefly, Alpha Shredding currently operates at 301 Enterprise Avenue, where it has operated since March of 2020. It is a metal recycling facility. Metal recycling took place at that location since the 1950s. originally owned by Trenton Iron and Metal. Currently, Alpha Shredding is the largest recycler in Mercer County and a large part of the Mercer County Solid Waste Management Plan. We employ 80 individuals, most of whom reside in Trenton. This evening, we are asking for the approval of a resolution to permit us to buy adjoining property 299 Enterprise Avenue. The property at 299 Enterprise Avenue was owned by Federated Metals, and the city acquired it in connection with a tax sale. We were previously approved to acquire this property, but it was contingent on getting a variety of zoning permits for our property, which we have done before the Board of Adjustment. The property has been appraised. The city has approved the appraisal amount, which is approximately $450,000. The proposed use of the property is to add warehouse space for the storage of metal and to move a rail siding, which is currently across Enterprise Avenue, onto the property to minimize the need to cross Enterprise Avenue. We currently have all of the environmental permits for the current use, and we understand our obligation to acquire any environmental permits that might be necessary if the acquisition is approved. Again, we had been designated as the redeveloper, but that redevelopment designation expired on its own because we hadn't completed all of our permitting. So we're here today to ask that, actually we're here today because Mr. Bridges told us to come because you might have some questions, particularly with regard to environmental issues. And that's the reason Mr. Woodruff is here. Happy to answer any other questions you might have.
Mr. Garcia, can you please remind council which resolution number this is?
Madam President, I'll look now.
Yes, please. 219, 26-219, thank you.
And what was the other one?
At this time, do any of my
Madam President, it's 219 and 26-221.
26-219 and 221, okay. At this point, given the presentation, any council colleagues have any questions?
Council President?
Council Vice President Williams.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Mr. Lakin, I was actually expecting a little bit more information, but I have a number of questions. So regarding this project, it mentions precious metals. So I would like for you to explain what that exactly is going to mean and the process by which they will be separated. And then I'll follow up with a question regarding what that means environmentally for the community, particularly with emissions, any degradation into the soil, and so forth.
Yes, those are the kind of questions Mr. Woodruff can answer better.
Oh, okay, he's going to come up after.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
thank
he
you.
is. And it's the precious metals was a misprint. They're not so precious.
Yeah, because I know particularly the issues with carburetors.
Correct. And and Mr. Woodruff will explain in more detail how all liquids are trucked off site and the fact that the property, if we acquire it, will be fully paved. So there won't be any sort of groundwater intrusion. But if I could ask Mr. Woodruff to come up.
That would be perfect. Thank you.
Ken, will you just tell the council what your role is with Alfred Shredding and how long you've been associated with them?
My name's Kenneth L. Woodruff, and I'm an environmental consultant. I've actually been involved with this facility since the mid-1980s. Provide services to Trenton Iron and Metal prior to Alpha Shredding. I've handled all their permitting matters and environmental compliance issues. This property that we're trying to acquire, I handed it there. I believe everybody should have a handout that it's a conceptual plan that we're proposing to put in a 30,000 square foot warehouse and rail siding. The current facility is off to the right, upper right-hand corner of this aerial photo. So it's immediately adjacent. Anyhow, the purpose of this warehouse is actually to handle catalytic converters, to remove the honeycomb substrate that contains the platinum group metals. All we really do is open the canisters and remove the honeycomb material and basically repackage it into drums. We do no melting, no smelting. The only thing would be potentially generated is a little bit of dust, but that is all controlled inside the building with HEPA filters. So it's almost like a hospital room, clean room scenario, because the dust contains the platinum group metals. The finished product then gets shipped out in 55-gallon drums. Again, it's all dry material, and gets shipped out primarily to Montana, where the refinery, smelter, and so forth is located, that then, recovers the metals and for reuse. So we're not using chemicals. We're not using, again, there's no melting, there's no smelting. So it's effectively just a warehouse. And there's two loading docks. So it's not a high volume, again, it's not a high volume operation because it's small quantities.
So thank you. That answers that portion of my questions for sure. Some other questions that came up, and these would be important, is regarding truck traffic coming in and out over time. When this project was initially proposed to us, we had learned about it, there was some issues with maybe having vastly increased truck traffic coming in and out that would necessitate some right-of-way changing. Is that incorrect or correct?
That's incorrect.
Okay, good to hear.
No, there's the traffic involved in this particular site is minimal. It's just a handful of trucks a day. I mean, you're talking about, less than 5 or 6 that would be added. And actually, because of the rail siding, we're going to have much less impact on Enterprise Avenue than we currently have when we load rail cars on the siding. We currently lease from Conrail the rail siding immediately across the street, which runs parallel to Enterprise Avenue. So to load those cars, we need to run trucks on the street, and this will completely eliminate that.
Okay. So with that, 2 more questions, one of which is regarding the rail car line. How often does rail actually run on that? So my understanding, it was defunct for the most part.
At this point, it's probably once a week.
Once a week? Okay.
I mean, I was out there a week ago today, and I believe there were 4 rail cars staged there. So I believe it's once a week is the turnaround.
And do you expect much more of an increase in number of rail cars? I know we won't be seeing mile-long rail cars like they do out west. So, but people usually do not see rail cars in the city. That's why we're asking.
Right.
So,
I mean, there would be an increase because, again, that will help us take truck traffic, away, because the more we can ship by rail, the less trucks. I mean, a rail car holds the equivalent of 4 or 5 truckloads.
Okay. So are there any improvements that need to be made by Conrail for you to be able to utilize this more often? So I know some of it's overgrown and that has to be taken care of on occasion.
I believe for the most part, the work that has to be done, it will be paid for, funded by Alpha.
Okay.
Because it'll be on private property. Conrail may do a little bit of improved maintenance on a part of that, the existing rail.
Okay, and last question, so this comes directly from a constituent. Being that you will be working with the catalytic converters, and there's been a lot of thievery around the country for those pieces, you will not be purchasing catalytic converters off the street. These will be ones that get sent to you.
Absolutely, absolutely correct. No, we do not purchase converters from somebody coming in with a shopping cart or whatever. No, it's got to be from, licensed, properly approved auto record facilities that remove them.
Okay, thank you very much. It answers all my questions. Appreciate that. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilor President. Anybody else? All right. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you act on the resolution at some point in the next?
Excuse me? You have to speak into the
I
microphone. I
was
can't
just
hear you.
wondering when the council may act on the resolution.
We're going to vote tonight.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Garcia, we may proceed at this time.
Certainly, Madam President, at this time, with the amendment to the agenda, we will now have public comment.
Yes, let's proceed.
If I could have the public comment clipboard, please. And also, sir, if you would, please just give me the sign that's posted back there as well. If I could just have that very quickly.
Mr. Garcia,
Yes, Madam President.
you please let us know how many sign up for public comment tonight?
Certainly, we have at this time 12, 23, 24 individuals listed for public comment at this time. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, I'd like to make a motion to change public comment from 5 minutes to 3 minutes at this time.
All right, that's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Moment, please. I'll call the roll. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams.
Yes?
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Garcia, can you please proceed with the rules of decorum for public comment?
Certainly, as posted in the front of the room prior to coming into the room and right by public comments clipboard, the rule of decorum under City Code, Chapter 8316, Rule 15, 11B. Any person making impertinent or slanderous remarks or who shall become boisterous while addressing the council shall forthwith be barred from further audience before the council by presiding officer unless permission to continue or again address the council be granted by majority vote of the council.
Council President,
Yes, Councilwoman.
I'd like to make a motion that we have, I think you said 24, Mr. Garcia, individuals for
Yes.
this evening. Can we move find out if there are those in the council chambers that are not here for the same item? I know there's several individuals here. But if there are those here from the community who have actually community issues that they wanted to speak about, if we could move them to the front of that agenda, of the list.
Okay, I would have to then call names and find out which individuals will be speaking regarding what matters.
We can't just, I guess let's just ask if there's anyone here that's not here for ICE. So I see 1, 2, 3, about 4 hands.
So I have Ms. Staten.
6.
If you could identify yourselves then, who are not here to speak regarding the same ICE ordinance.
I'll say, yeah, go in order and then see if they.
Right.
At the same time, that's a motion. You were making a motion, correct?
I am making a motion, yes.
All right, is there a second to that motion?
Second?
Thank you. And I'll call the roll again. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg, excuse me.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then for that matter, we have one individual. Are there any other individuals that are not speaking regarding the ICE ordinance this evening? Please raise your hand, identify yourselves. Thank you. If you could tell me your names, please. Say again?
I didn't.
Martin Solinsky, got it. Thank you. Other individual? I'm sorry? Calvin O'Hill. Got it. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yes. Faith Ann Pearson.
Mr. Garcia, if you could just go by name, if they are here to address something about ICE, then they're here to address something about ICE and immigration. If they are not, then they may come up to speak as you go down the list, please, and cross them off the list as we go.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Glenn Patterson. Please come to the mic. And are you addressing any matter outside of an ICE? Understood.
Hello, my name is Glenn Patterson. I want to say hello to all the councilwomen and councilmen. I'm here once again speaking on the matter of trying to purchase a lot that's next to my mom's house, 261 Church Street. The lot is 259. That's the address. Been applying for that lot for a long period of time. It's probably been about 6, 7, 8 years. I've been putting in applications for that lot, and I don't still know why I'm being denied. I was here the last meeting, and I did ask again why, for some reason, nothing is happening with me. I'm trying to purchase that lot. I was given, someone went out and talked to me. She didn't really give a true answer on what's going on with it. The purchase of that lot is also for the protection of my mother's house that it sits next to. My mother's 97 years old. I'm her last child. I take care of her. Church Street is a street where cars come down like a racing track. My mother right now, she's bedridden. So there's other reasons why I want the lot. And one of the most important things is to provide safety for her, because when I have to bring her out the house, the porch is small, trying to get her into the vehicle. Cars coming down fast, it's dangerous for both of us. Where if I had that lot, I can back up into that lot, bring my mother out the back, put her into the vehicle, and everything would be much more safer. But that's not only the reason why I want that lot. I want that lot because years ago, the person who owned it, Mr. Oliver, we were very, very good friends. He was good friends with my family. My mother has been in that house, I want to say about more than 80 years. And we've been taking care of that lot. There was a program a couple of years ago, and may still be now, of Adopt a Lot. And I was on that several times. So I'm here once again, applying for it. I would like to have it. And can someone tell me, is there any reason why I'm just being denied, or it's like I'm getting no answers?
Mr. Patterson, can you leave your email?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mr. Patterson, just so you understand, and this is another matter after I read the rules of decorum, the council is not obligated to respond to you at this time during the public comments. So they've taken in what what you've had to tell them, and they'll respond accordingly, either via email or some other form when they speak to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? And that goes for all the public at this time. Our next individual listed is Martin Slowinski. Thank you.
Good evening, council members,
It's right after him.
members of administration. My name is Martin Slowinski. I live on 823 Pine Street. Along with many of neighbors, I am strongly opposed to establishing a wedding venue on former firehouse on 1100 Brunswick Avenue. Our primary concern are extensive noise from music and events and severe parking shortages. The venue plans for 60-80 guests, yet provides only 19-20 valet parking spaces somewhere, we don't really know where. Most residents on our streets do not have driveways. Even if the owner secures additional off-site parkings, there is no guarantee that guests will use it. They will likely park on our residential streets instead. On weekends, after a week of hard work, we all have rights to rest peacefully at night. However, our streets is already full of our own cars on weekends because we are all at home. Additional guest cars will create safety risks, traffic problems, and major disruption for our neighborhood. Regardless of final outcome for the firehouse project, we demand that city establish resident parking only on our street. No resident vehicles should be allowed to park on our street if the firehouse become whatever they want. We respectfully ask City Council and the administration to act quickly this resident parking protection. Our neighborhood should not bear burden of commercial events we never asked for. Thank you for your time and attention.
Cal O'Neill.
Good evening. You all look so much different than y'all do when I see y'all out. Some of y'all cool stuff. I basically just wanted to talk about the process of purchasing homes from the city, right? I've been in this process for a year. It's been up, it's been down, it's been yay, it's been nay. And I just feel like it needs to be a little bit more transparency, right? I feel like there should be a seminar once a month so we understand the process, because I'm gonna be honest, once I did LLCs, then I used my name, because the neighborhood is telling me one thing, but then there's another thing, and then it changes, and then it changes. And I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a Trenton native. Some of you, like I said, some of you guys I know, some of you guys I work with. I remember I used to pump your gas, bro. Your family had to store, I'm wasting my time here, I know. But I just want to see us win, right? I don't like I look at some of y'all like friends, and I don't like when people say things like, oh, only the Latinos get the houses. I don't believe that's true. When I hear things, and then you go to the office, and it just happens you see 3 or 4 Latino people, right? And it gives the perception that might be true. But I grew up with Latinos on 700 block of Center Street. Some of them people are the salt of the earth. They're not holding houses. They don't care. They're doing their jobs. So I feel like we need a level of transparency so that we can get this done, because the things that I hear, even when I hear stuff about the council, when I'm literally cool with 5 of y'all, right? Joe's not here, but that's my guy, right? I don't want people to think that it's a leadership thing. I believe that it's just communication. I believe that it's just somewhere, if we can iron out the kinks and make the process more simple, then everybody will be appreciated more. Where it's because it's stuff like racism being thrown around. I don't believe that there's Latino sitting somewhere getting super rich, or it's a black person somewhere getting super rich. What I believe is a lot of people don't understand the process. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm an entrepreneur. I got a lot of different ventures. This was one of the hardest things I had to do in the last year, and I do some pretty hard stuff. So I'm just challenging you as leaders, right? Some of you guys have aspirations to do stuff past city council. People are gonna, they say people don't care what you did for them. They remember how you made them feel, right? Shout out to housing and development. They made me feel special. I went up there, this was like my 7th or 8th time, and I said, I'm not leaving until I speak to somebody. They made me feel special. But then I had to reflect on the relationships I had with some of you guys personally, and I know that if I came to you crying about it or complaining, you would make me feel special. I just want everybody who's a part of this process to feel special. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies. Since tell Joe I said hi. I'll take this.
Tamara Kuzmix.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Tamara Kuzmich, and I live at 911 Indiana Avenue. Martin is my neighbor on Pine Street. The firehouse that is on 1100 Brunswick Avenue, the owner wants to convert the basement to an adult medical daycare, the first floor to a reception hall, and the second floor to a multi-purpose room. The parking spaces in the back, we believe, will only fit 8 or 9 vehicles. The daycare is going to use a van to pick up the patients or adults to bring there daily. They're going to be Monday to Friday, 9 to 7 p.m. Friday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. is going to be events going on. Again, 60 to 80 people are they estimated to be at these weddings or engagement parties. And we don't have driveways. We park on the street. And he said that the owner was stating at the planning board meeting that they're going to have valet parking. The church, which is next to the firehouse, St. Michael's, said absolutely they are not letting them park there in the parking lot. The owner said he was going to reach out to the laundromat, which is on Brunswick Avenue. There is a huge sign on the laundromat that says, warning, private parking. And they have one of them roll gates that close. So we're worried about our parking. We're worried about the noise till 10 p.m. and the garbage. We asked him, he said he's not using city garbage, which they pick up on Wednesdays and Saturdays there. He said he's going to have private garbage pickup. How can we assure that he's going to do that? We don't know. He said they're going to pick the garbage up the next day. Okay, there is already a reception hall on New York Avenue that has weddings and parking, and it's only, what, two blocks up, 3 blocks up from there? That should be the wedding hall, not the firehouse. We want something in that firehouse. We're not against the adult medical daycare, but the reception hall, we don't want that there. There's also broken curbs and cracked sidewalks. Are they gonna repair the blacktop in the parking area there and repair the curbs and sidewalks? There's only also one entry to that parking lot behind the firehouse, which is on Pine Street.
Thank you, ma'am. That is your time.
Okay, there's no exit on Brunswick Avenue for that. Thank you.
Mr. Lewis Brady, would your comment be, no? Okay, understood. And this is Joanna Lloyd. Would your comment be for an ICE ordinance, or would this be for something outside of that? Understood. I will go to Mr. Victor Irizarry.
Good evening, Mr. Pledger again. Hope you become mayor. Change the status quo. I'm addressing this article again by L.A. Parker and making a big issue about ice cream on June 6th, I believe it is, where the Hispanic community, no, Puerto Rican community in France and Old Mill Hill Society Garden Tour were having an annual event. Now, this man right here, he has a way of stirring our emotions in every article he has, how he downplays the city, the people involved in the city, the leadership, and at the end, he has a way of making it a racial issue, again, without any solutions. Now, again, I'm gonna keep saying that the solution is to repeal Executive Order 11727 that J. Edgar Hoover put in place to restore the black community in search of the black Messiah. Where he found it or not, found him or not, I don't know. And Richard Nixon's drug war, well, that's 1727, is Richard Nixon, but prior to that was a counterintelligence program to destroy the black community in search of black Messiah. That's still going on today. If that is repealed, and I say hopefully Trenton, New Jersey will be the first city to advocate this as a sanctuary city, you won't have ICE problems, you won't have a high incarceration rate in New Jersey. The Puerto Ricans, Hispanics, and then the African Americans, and then black people, what you see, the separation is 4 sections right there. But there's more to it. There's more sections, but these are the 2 main sections. Can get along in peace in this city. Now, honors to the Puerto Rican community and the center of the community that is stepping forward, and I believe Puerto Ricans can make a big, contribute a large part in making Trenton a better place, a safe city to live in, along with sharing our experience with the Hispanics and relationships that we have with the black and / African American community. Now, this man, he brought up the fact that Mr. Trent was a slave owner and so forth. All right, so that was the game back then. He played it well. He was the last one to become to abolish slavery in New Jersey, and but somehow this place is still up and running. And I remember when I was a child, I asked one of my teachers. We went on a trip. Is something about Trent? Well, the name of Trent. Trent said he told me it was Mr. Trent was the one that established somehow Trenton, New Jersey. So it goes back when I was a child. I understand it's still up and running, and there's events there every year that brings people together. And we don't need this man to continue to make everything so emotional, but in favor of slavery, so-called in favor of the black community, but yet he does not address the dragon, which is the system put in place to keep us apart and poverty-stricken. And that goes back to the cannabis money that's coming to New Jersey, that the financial officer is distributing to the other departments already that have money and not directed that money to the poverty-stricken people.
Thank you, Mr. Irizarry. That is the time.
Thank you.
Cordelia Staten.
Good evening, Council. Cordelia Staten, 310 Gardner Avenue. I want to speak to a couple of things. One is the 2 resolutions that are on here. One is 224, which is HUD funds to the various communities. I am glad to see that we've applied for those funds and we're going to get them to provide the supportive services and planning activities for the homeless, disabled, and individuals and families in the city of Trenton. I'm also glad to see and support 225, which is where the city was intentional in applying for funds to provide breakfast and lunch for the students while they're out of school. Now, back to this agenda. This is so crazy, let me tell you. The agenda that I get in the mail has public comment for docket items only. Now, I see that you changed that today here. What I would say to you is that before you make those decisions, they can't just be to the convenience of council. They have to be something that is to the convenience of the public. You meet twice a month. sometimes individuals schedule their time to come to these meetings to speak on docket items. They're not looking for a change. They're not looking to speak at the end of the meeting. They're not looking to get queried about what their subject is. You know, you have a system, stick to it. I know you're expecting a big conversation this evening on ICE or whatever, but you shouldn't change the docket. The docket is what it is. And if you are going to change it, then you need to give enough notification to the public. And I'm part of the public, and I didn't get it till I got in this room. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to any of the residents that come here to speak on docket items and then find out at the last minute the schedule has been rearranged to the convenience of council and not to the public. I would just ask that you be intentional in the work that you do. Please be mindful that you have changed your meeting to 2 times a month, and you need to be more cognizant of the people and the people that you serve and the public that comes to speak. They need to have adequate time to speak, and you need to be more considerate of their time. Thank you very much.
Faith Ann Pearson.
Good evening, council. Real quick, this, in 2013, I had noticed that traveling up and down Enterprise Avenue across from what was Trenton Recycling Plant, there were railroad tracks, and they used the railroad hoppers to move the shredded stuff over, which is nice, but they had a claw apparatus. So every time I'd go by and they were using it, you saw these white pads, which they used to call diapers, to absorb the oils and stuff that was leaking from this apparatus. And this was going on for some time. I know that now this new company has a different idea in a different area. So I am hoping that with this new company that will save the abilities to have the machine dribble the hydraulic fluid onto the soil, and also having them being more responsible for seeing to it that all of the shredded material from the automobiles are taken care of and handled properly without having the DEP or EPA become involved. Thank you.
Patrice Laventure. And ma'am, would this be for an immigration ordinance or something different? Is this for an immigration ordinance or something different other than that?
For ICE.
This is for an ICE ordinance? Okay. If I could have you hold for a moment, let's see if there are any other individuals
No problem.
that are interested in anything else. Let's see, who's this? Paula T. Is that Abel? Understood. Thank you. Jessica DeFalco. Thank you. Gustavo de la Cruz. Jacob Hamer. Dawn Cohen. Is this Johnny? Who's from Chadwick? Or is that Danny? I'm sorry, I can't read this. Thank you. I'm sorry?
I'm not speaking for ICE.
Not speaking for ICE? Come right forward. No worries.
Thank you so much. I have some illustration I'd like to share with you if that's not a problem.
If you give them to my colleague here, we'll be happy to pass those out to council.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. My name is, I'm so sorry. I'm kind of nervous. My name is Consuelo Cruz. I came here because a partner of mine introduced me to this project. It's located in 15 Chadwick Street. And 3 years ago, literally I sold my apartment and trying to invest into Trent. My background is in the movie industry. I worked for 16 years into the movie industry and see that I had the opportunity to own a land and open a business on my own and bring the movie industry to Trenton. It just, it was really good for me and for my personal experience. I've been trying to get guidance from the city. And because in the beginning, I didn't have the experience with what I need for trying to get the lots next to this property. It was an issue for me to trying to get the zoning change because I don't have parking. Now I solved this problem, fortunately. If you see the page in this package right here, you see the page, the first page. My property is right, 15 Chadwick is the one that is the whole roof. It's 30,000 square feet. And I'm trying to purchase the lot next to it is shadowed on red. And the parking that I just got recently last week is the one, the green field that you will see highlighted on red. So my reason with this, you will see in the second page, I put a little highlight in. That's the land that I'm trying to purchase from the city. I've been trying to get this land for the last 2 years. I had different meetings with the mayor, with Mr. Jim Beach, with Mrs. Yolanda Vasquez, with every single one. And I'm pretty sure every single one of you have my email. I've been trying, I had the appraisal from the city. I offered, I have done absolutely everything that you guys asked me for. I spent over $50,000 just in site plans because you asked for, the city asked for, and architects, engineers, absolutely everything that you guys asked for. I have done it. And you guys keep saying nothing, absolutely nothing. There is no answer for you. I go there, they go, I'm like a bouncing ball for the second floor to the third floor. And if you see in the third page, some of you guys gonna have like double side. Those are the lot.
That is your time.
Anyway, I just wanted to show you.
Thank you.
No time to explain.
Mr. Garcia, please call the next person.
Certainly. One moment, please. Thank you. Let's see. We have Victoria Payne.
Speaking on ice.
Thank you. Vina Calamber. Genevieve D. Thank you. David Baum.
My topic is the.
Brian, is that Blisky? Asma Elhouni. Samir Kaitan. Thank you. Moving on, I will go back to the beginning of the list. That's, let's see, is that Joanna Lloyd?
That's good. Okay. My name is Joanna Lloyd. I live in Robbinsville and I'm a rapid responder who patrols Trenton. I had a different speech prepared to give to you guys tonight, but today has changed what my focus was. I responded this morning to a call from a terrified community member. When I arrived, the area was taped off. I asked some of the people there if they had been allowed to cross the yellow tape, And they said yes, so I followed them. I was immediately chased down by a police officer and forced back behind the yellow line. I told him that I would stand with my neighbors, and he told me they are not your neighbors. I told him, you don't get to tell me who my neighbors are. My community doesn't stop at the edge of my street. How can Trenton Police protect and serve a community they deny exists? I'm going to ask that Trenton Police protect my neighbors and not help disappear them. Do not let local custody become an ICE pipeline without a judicial warrant. Do not honor detainer requests from ICE without a judicial warrant for the person they are looking for. Clarity in operating parameters protects our law enforcement as well. Removing ambiguity in what they are allowed to do matters. Please help me protect my neighbors because they are my neighbors.
Patrice Levancher.
Good evening, Council. My name is Patrice Levancher. I live, work, worship, and own a business in Trenton. I'm also a rapid responder serving Trenton families. A city can't claim to value all residents while continuing practices that make large portions of the Latino community feel targeted, disposable, or unsafe. Honoring detainers sends a message to immigrant families that the city is willing to help separate them from their loved ones without judicial warrant. It tells our Latino residents, your rights matter less here. I'm respectfully demanding that you do not honor detainer requests from ICE without judicial warrant. Let us uphold the Trenton City Council's prayer from the beginning of the City Council meeting for the good of our community and for God's greater good. Thank you for your time.
Paula, is that Abe? Abe? Okay, Allison.
Alexson, Alekson. Thank you. I scribbled. Madam President, Madam Vice President, members of the council, my name is Paula Alexson, and I live on Broome Street in the Franklin Park neighborhood, a vibrant historical immigrant community in the South Ward. I too am a rapid responder with Resistencia and Acción because I want to stand up for the constitutional rights of my neighbors. While I'm very grateful for the ordinance overall, including the most recent revisions, my concern is an echo of my wife, Patrice, who just spoke, and it remains the issue on detainers. Detainers are especially harmful because they often rely on accusations or pending charges rather than convictions. Continuing to honor detainers, which are not judicial warrants, denies due process and communicates to all the immigrant residents that they are viewed as guilty before proven innocent. If our city truly believes in due process, in equal protections and the true values of community policing, then it should not voluntarily transfer people to immigration authorities without judicial oversight. I ask you to address this issue still outstanding in the ordinance and with my respect. Thank you so very much.
Jessica DeFalco.
Lower that.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. You guys can't see me, but okay. Jessica DeFalco. I'm a Mercer County resident and a rapid responder with Resistencia. The Trenton City Council introduced the ICE ordinance at the previous meeting while negotiations with community organizations were still going on. The ordinance now contains dangerous loopholes that would still allow cooperation with ICE detainers for people in custody. Detainers are not judicial warrants. They're administrative ICE requests. Under the Immigrant Trust Act, it specifically states that hold on. Under the Immigrant Trust Act, you cannot honor ICE requests to hold a person past their scheduled release time, the 48-hour hold. So, like I said, detainers are not judicial warrants. They're administrative ICE requests. The city has the power to refuse cooperation without a judicial warrant. But instead, you introduce language preserving this pipeline to detention and deportation. Our organizers negotiated in good faith, believing the discussions were continuing. Instead, protections our community fought for were weakened behind closed doors. I would like to specifically reference the ordinance in Section 3A, Paragraph 4, specifically saying that nothing in this section shall prohibit participation it's the next paragraph. It's about creating perimeters. You're still giving Trenton Police the opportunity to create a perimeter for ICE. That is collaboration with ICE. It needs to specifically say in this ordinance that Trenton Police cannot collaborate with ICE, specifically creating a perimeter. There's no accountability in this ordinance for what happens if Trenton Police does collaborate with ICE. What happens if they go against this ordinance or the Immigrant Trust Act? The next section in Section 4, documentation, and also the entire ordinance itself, there is nothing specifically discussing detainers. It needs to specifically say that Trenton Police will not honor the detainers. It's not mentioned in here at all. Also in Section 4A about documentation, saying that Trenton Police will take the requests from ICE and provide it to a point of contact under Section 5 of this ordinance. There is no contact in Section 5 of this ordinance. So while this was a good start, this still needs a lot of work. So I know I have 15 seconds left, but once again, due process does not stop at the jail door. Everyone is entitled to due process. When you step foot on U.S. land, you are entitled to due process. Point blank period.
Thank you, ma'am. That is your time. Gustavo de la Cruz.
Good evening, council members. Here to speak about Trenton's police department's collaboration with ICE. We have witnesses, we have videos. It needs to stop. You don't have to assist them. It is irresponsible for your police department to assist immigration. It is wrong, it is immoral. It needs to stop. Forget the laws and forget everything else. It's just immoral. We're letting immigration target apparently a small group of your community, our community, right? Letting an agency come in with a piece of paper that's worth pennies, what is worth the paper. It's opening up the door for any other community to be taken. It doesn't make sense that we let today this group of people be taken because it's already happening. They are taking just anybody they want, not just immigrants, right? We know they're taking US citizens. They'd be taking our Rutgers students, Princeton students, students from all over the country, only because they speak their mind, right? They become political opponents, and they will be taken by this agency. This agency has no accountability. We see it over and over, all over the state, all over the country. There are murderers. They have killed people on the ground. That people that die in these jails, it's out of control. This is an opportunity for this council to do something about it. You take it or you don't, right? We are all here asking you to do something with the powers that you have. It is your responsibility to use those powers. And if you don't have the powers, then figure out how we're gonna do this. Because letting our neighbors be taken is just wrong, right? They're abused. Some of them are losing their lives inside these jails. And again, they're gonna come for a small group today. They're gonna come for all of us. So let's just figure out how we do this. This group has no accountability. What's happening in Newark this last 10 days, you know, it's incredible. It's mind-boggling. It's stuff that I've never seen. I ask that you
Thank you, sir.
think
That
about
is your time.
what powers you have and use them the best you can. Thank you so much.
Jacob Hamer.
All right, good evening. So I'm Dr. Jacob Hamer. I'm a state worker. I work at the New Jersey State Museum, and I live just a little further down State Street at 395 West State Street here in Trenton. I'm an educator. I'm doing my best to serve the people of Trenton and New Jersey, to foster their curiosity and teach them about our place in the universe. But I can only teach people who feel safe enough to learn. I can only teach kids who haven't had their parents stolen away from them by ICE, kids who still have their caretakers. And Trenton must do everything it can to make sure that families in Trenton remain intact so I can continue to serve those families. And Trenton can do this by refusing to comply with ICE detainers or holds that are not associated with a judicial warrant. And I recognize that this ordinance is a step forward, but it must pass in its strongest form possible. And the ordinance must provide a plan for when police violate the ordinance and ensure that there are consequences for violating it, as we see that police are continuing to comply with ICE and assist them by setting up those perimeters. And anything else is Trenton letting down its families and failing to protect residents' right to due process. Thank you for your time.
Dawn Cohen.
Good evening. Thank you. I'm also here this evening to urge this body to strengthen this ordinance. I appreciate that you are trying to make an effort to protect the community, but I specifically do urge you to remove this very significant loophole, which would allow city law enforcement to honor detainers without judicial warrants. As a member of the community with many immigrant friends, I'm terrified of the possibility that a friend who happened to have a frivolous pending ICE action could find themselves accidentally in police custody for a minor infraction, and an ICE detainer could end up meaning a meaningless outcome. We know that ICE shows zero respect for facts, and Trenton law enforcement could be the last best hope for due process for someone like that, for a vulnerable person. And I urge you not to abdicate your responsibility
to support due process, because we know that handing people over to ICE is a one-way door. Thank you.
Victoria Payne.
Hello, good evening. My name is Tori Payne. I'm a nurse and a proud resident of District 12 in the Garden State. New Jersey has a weird rap in this country, but it is a great place to live. We may be the fourth smallest state, but we pack one hell of a punch. We're one of the top contributors for the nation's supply of fresh fruits and vegetables. We have some of the best schools in the country, and our shores are known throughout the world. We are ranked 7th in diversity in the nation, which is fitting because Lady Liberty stands proudly in New Jersey waters, welcoming immigrants to our famous shores. And we put a concentration camp behind her. It's unacceptable. People are being taken from the streets, from their jobs, from their homes, away from their families, with no end in sight. It's the legislative branch, a big part of the legislative branch is a big power you have is investigation. I'm sick of hearing that people are being denied access to Delaney Hall. You are government officials and this is your home turf. You own the building as far as I'm concerned. I'm sick of hearing Mikey Sherrill say that she can't get into Delaney Hall, that no one can see what the conditions are, but we can get a letter out hearing about how horrible it is. They're being fed rancid, rotten food filled with maggots. They're being denied medical care. And now the concentration camp isn't even letting them see their families. This is unbelievably un-American, and I don't know how anyone in government goes home at the end of the night knowing that this is going on. I'm a nurse. It's my responsibility to provide medical care to anyone who comes through the doors of my clinic. I don't care what their papers, I don't care if they have papers. I don't care who they are or what they've done. That's not the point. And all of these people, by ICE's own admission, are there without charges. By their own admission. It's almost laughable. They're not even trying to hide what they're doing, and we're allowing it. The longer this goes on, the more lives will be lost. And you're going to have to turn to your children and your grandchildren and tell them what you did to stop this or what you didn't do. And I appreciate the time for this ordinance. I truly do. I think it's progress. But until everyone in there is free, it is not enough.
Bina Calamber.
Good evening, Council. My name is Vina. I live in Lawrenceville, and my husband has worked here for 7 years, and our friends live here. We shop and dine here regularly, so even if we don't live here, we do feel like we're part of the community. And I'm here to speak on, like everyone else, to ask that you amend the ordinance to remove the dangerous loopholes that would still allow cooperation with ICE detainers for people with custody. Back when I was in school, I did some human subject research. So as per all of the IRB training, we got to learn a lot about how do you treat vulnerable populations during research. And so even though I worked with children, we also learned about research with prisoners. And explicitly, federal regulations recognize that prisoners in particular occupy a uniquely constrained environment where ideas about consent and choice break down. These populations are especially vulnerable to coercion, exploitation, or undue influence, both in research settings, but I think that exact same principle applies when they're in custody. When immigrants are being targeted and being swept off the streets, this is just a nightmare. This is terrible for the economy. It's terrible for our moral sense of justice. And I want to make sure that our local government is doing everything it can to shut down such loopholes. Because just as I, as a researcher, was accountable for the vulnerable populations, you as City Council, as the local government, are responsible for those very people's safety and lives when they are in custody. And you know that police handing over people to ICE, especially if it's not tied to a judicial warrant, you know the conditions that they're going to be walking into. It's just inhumane. It is tragic. It is so infuriating to see our state government failing to shut this down. And I look to you as leaders to step up when we're not seeing leaders step up to take care of the most vulnerable in our community. Thank you.
Genevieve D. Lulio? DiGiulio. Thank
Hello, council members. I'm Genevieve DiGiulio. I've worked in Trenton for 15 years. I'm a long-time participant of the Trenton art and bicycle scene here in Trenton. I spend my free time in Trenton for the culture that its residents provide. I've been rooting for Trenton for a very long time, and I see the beauty here in Trenton. My hope is for Trenton. Oh, shoot, sorry, guys. My hope is for Trenton to operate with dignity, a dignity for all of its residents. All residents should feel safe and be able to use the services provided by the city without fear. Community trust improves public safety. Please keep Trenton safe. I urge the city to strengthen the ordinance and do not support the federal immigration and customs without a judicial warrant. I echo the statements by all presenters here today. Thank you for your time.
David Baum.
Good evening, Council. I'm David Baum. I work in Trenton. I think probably in one of the converted factory buildings in the beautiful mural here. It's the first time I've been in the chambers. I appreciate the opportunity to address the needed improvements to the ICE ordinance. I know, of course, that you care about the community you serve, and I know your job often involves balancing competing needs. I'm here to address the need to be sure that one key risk that affects us all isn't overlooked. You, of course, recognize that community health, including public safety, depends on trust between government and residents. In the city's ICE ordinance, I strongly urge the council to explicitly preclude any possibility of honoring detainer requests from ICE without a judicial warrant. These administrative requests, they do not provide due process. They can rely, for example, solely on accusations. This failure to assure constitutionally guaranteed rights creates a risk that deters community participation and therefore the effectiveness and efficiency of services provided by clinics and other organizations serving community members in ways that improve individual and public health across Trenton. Residents who are entitled to seek services or accompany family members obtaining services fear becoming the subject of a federal administrative request whose enforcement is facilitated by local officials. When community members fear interacting with the city's health infrastructure, that jeopardizes their own and everyone else's health. If Trenton sets the wrong example on this point, that increases the risk that surrounding communities and other municipalities across the state follow suit and further compromise health services in ways that affect both those communities and also Trenton. Thank you.
Brian Bilski.
Hello. Thank you for your time. My name is Brian Bilski. I used to deliver critical thinking writing workshops and therapeutic music instruction to your youth detention facilities here, and love coming to Trenton for any event because of your diversity. So I'd like to talk about integrity. Somebody told, well, I've had several mentors say, if you want integrity, live a life of rigorous honesty. ICE has no integrity. They lie. You heard about this for some time, so we don't need to go through it because it's all out there. If you're not, you have to be aware of it. The number of cases making their way through the courts where the video proves the lies. The lies from the top. 3 days after we saw Kilmar Abrego Garcia in that video off to El Salvador, we knew his entire life story. And it's still an issue here. So no integrity there from the top. There's no integrity in the entire operation. A legitimate operation would say, hey, we've had decades of loss and this insane backlog, and now there's not enough room for the people, so we need to move them. So you'd say, hey, okay, where are you in the process, and do it smooth, right? Like any professional, the whole operation has no integrity, and it's because it's for profit. We're taking taxpayer money. I used to be deep in this, and I can't believe we're back here, but when it's a profit motive for a body in a bed, and you have the corporations writing the laws for the, through the lobby system, it's disgusting. So, therefore, our Constitution mentions due process. Due process for all. Due process for all is the only way that due process protects the innocent. You take away due process for some, and it's going to disappear for more and all. So that must be in there. And along with integrity comes accountability. So any sort of lip service may be nice, but without accountability, you're not going to have any integrity, and you're not going to have trust from the community. So I'd like to encourage, demand, plead that you restore due process for all and put in some mechanism of accountability and use the judicial warrants. Okay.
Asma Elhouni.
Hello, I just want to start off before my time. There are people here who want to speak, and the sign-up sheet that was taken away. Could we put a sign-up sheet for those who still want to speak? Is that possible, including families? You're just taking the sign-up sheet away. No one else is allowed to sign up to speak. Is that correct? Nobody's allowed to speak? Okay, so you're just taking that away. Okay, so
I'm sorry, what was that now?
make note, they're not allowing anyone else to speak. This is the first.
Sign-in sheet, once it's in my possession here, no, we don't typically allow additional people to come and sign any after that point. I'll defer to the attorney, and if there's anything regarding the code and those rules outside of that, you do have the time of the hearing of the ordinance.
Okay.
Excuse me. First, please. Mr. Garcia.
Oh, can we restart my time? I was asking about procedures here. Can you restart my time? Yeah. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I woke up at 4 a.m. I've been out a lot for the people. I'm willing to lose sleep. I'm willing to lose sleep for my community members to be safe. So I want to start off, I'm sticking to my notes because I know I have time. There are two issues with the ordinance. One is the detainers are continuing to be allowed to happen. We don't want that to happen. And the second is there's no accountability factor in the ordinance. So those are the two major issues that we're hoping to get fixed, and we'd love to have this passed. So those are the two. So I want to be very clear. The current state law is the floor on how to treat detainer requests. Local governments can choose not to accept detainers. So detainers are voluntary. You are deciding to choose to accept detainers, to choose to erase due process from immigrants. There is litigation across the country because of these requests. We are keeping ourselves at risk and opening the door to lawsuits by allowing ourselves to accept these. City Council's responsibility is not to simply approve what law enforcement is comfortable with. The role of The role of elected officials is to protect the rights, safety, and trust of the entire community, especially when constitutional rights are at stake. Police departments are not independent governments. They are public agencies accountable to the people through civilian leadership. If council only pass policies police agree with, then meaningful oversight will be lost. The second problem is the accountability piece. There is absolutely none. Why even have an ordinance when there's absolutely no accountability factor? The Trenton, it says literally in the ordinance, the Trenton Police Department or its members shall not be subject to retaliation, adverse employment action, demotion, discipline, or discharge for refusing to participate in activities prohibited in the ordinance. Not understanding why. So public accountability often requires elected officials to lead, not just follow. Due process protections are not anti-police. They are constitutional guardrails designed to ensure fairness, accountability, and transparency. A person should not lose their liberty through informal requests, backdoor coordination, or administrative shortcuts without judicial oversight. City Council should consider long-term legal and financial risks to the city. So I'm just gonna say I'm tired. Today in the morning, I'm gonna tell you why, and I hope I don't have time.
Yes.
I just don't have time. Is it okay if somebody gives me their time to just share why it's important due process?
No, thank you.
Okay,
Unfortunately, we can't yield time to others, or
okay.
thank you.
So due process and please, due process and accountability.
Samir Katan.
Good evening. I would like to ask that everyone up here take 15 seconds and stare at the images. If all three of those images could be held up, please. You see this? This happened outside of Delaney Hall. And this is 3 out of maybe 1 million images and videos that we've seen. You know what happened to these people? ICE agents came forward, acting completely unhinged. And we're seeing these blatant images and video of these agents who apparently were trained for about 30, 40 days, singling people out, having personal grudges, acting with total impunity. You see that image right there? That's me. You see that? I was standing, peacefully protesting, videotaping something, and an agent comes up to me and says, "Come here." He grabs me around the shoulder, flips me on the ground, stands over me. Right? And then both sides, for about 4 seconds, they drag me inside, they carry me inside, and they let me go. Because they actually determined I didn't do anything wrong. And you know what? I'm one person. This is what they're doing in the open. In the open with no accountability. The person was right. What the hell is the point of laws? I get that there's something on the books. That's great. The person said it right. Without accountability, who gives a damn if we have laws? The lawlessness starts at the top. And the only way that gets stopped is people power. It's not just a law. Every single politician across the state of New Jersey should be on the front lines right now. Right now. Because that happened to me. That happened to me. They're doing that in the open. The families inside, what they're doing behind closed doors. God knows what they're doing.
Excuse me, hold on. We have read rules of decorum. We have asked that everybody do not have outbursts while people are speaking. I will have persons removed. Thank you very much.
I wish that same energy was shown to build everything that people are asking into this legislation. And I wish you would show that same energy and get your ass up to Delaney Hall. All of you. I don't care if you're not New York. You're a politician in New Jersey. What are we doing here? That's the only way this stops. You think ICE is going to follow your law? When Cheryl goes up there and escorts ICE and then basically...
Okay.
Madam President, those are all the individuals that I have for public comment at this time.
Thank you.
Moving on with the agenda at this
No,
time.
Mr. Garcia, I would like to make a quick statement.
Certainly.
I want to be very clear. Federal government supersedes state government and municipal government, okay? As I've stated at the last meeting, and before I say anything, we have worked very, very hard with the organizations. We have worked very, very hard, council, administration, police, and legal, to get an ordinance drafted that was given to us, that was presented to us to say, we need this. And we did that. We took that and we did that, and we put everything into that ordinance. We kept everything into that ordinance that we were able to legally keep into that ordinance. We have done our due diligence. There's not another municipality in the state of New Jersey that has put an ordinance forward for this. We initially said we will issue a resolution in support of the state statute. And we were told that wasn't enough, and we respected that. And here we are, weeks and weeks into trying to draft an ordinance that made sense, that is protecting those that you all are trying to protect. We have put that forward, and here it is. And is it perfect? No. Were we able to get everything in there that you all asked for? Absolutely not, but we got 85% of what you all asked for in there. And our police director was called out for acting inappropriately, for assisting ICE. And yet our police director came to the table to help negotiate with this ordinance that we have put forward. This may not be everything that you all are asking for, but it's a step in the right direction. This is an ordinance in the state of New Jersey, the very first one that will set a precedent for other ordinances to move forward in the state of New Jersey. No, it is. And things can be changed, and things could be amended as we move forward. It's not perfect, but we can get right as we move forward. I'm not asking anybody to call out. I will have you removed, ma'am. Thank you. No, security, can you please start removing those who are shouting out, please? Please. So having said that at this time, Mr. Garcia, I would like to move on at this time with our agenda. Thank you.
Very well, Madam President. At this time, if you want to ask for a motion to approve minutes of April 7th and April 21st, 2026.
May we have motions to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Okay.
I said yes.
Oh, thank you. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams. Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve communications and petitions.
May we have a motion to approve communications and petitions?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. And at this time, Madam President, that brings us to ordinances for second reading and public hearing.
Yes.
Ordinance 26-41, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned properties commonly known as 240, 242, and 244 Walnut Avenue and identified on the city tax map as block 26402, lots 10, 11, and 12, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Trenton Redevelopment 2026 for the sale price of $28,000. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-42, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 7 and 11 Chambers Street and identified on the city tax map as block 12901, lots 2 and 4 pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Adrian Chalas for the sale price of $15,000. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve? So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-043, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 13 Chambers Street, identified on the city tax map as block 12901, lot 5, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Chioma Ugorji for the sale price of $10,000. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-44.
Mr. Garcia.
Ordinance is
Mr.
pulled. I'm
Garcia.
sorry.
Sorry, was this one pulled? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Which one?
Ordinance 20, it's pulled. Ordinance 26-45, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 39 Oak Street and identified on the city tax map as block 1803, lot 72, pursuant to NJSA 40A1213C to Glennis Syme for the sale price of $6,425. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve? So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-48, ordinance establishing local implementation mechanisms, individual rights of notification and accountability protocols, supplementing state law limitations on local civil immigration enforcement cooperation. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Please come forward, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Osorio.
Thank you. I'm gonna kind of bring it over here so I can look at you guys. So I want to come back to the part about detainers and about the fact that.
Ma'am, this is about the ordinance. I'm
It is.
sorry.
It is about the ordinance.
This is about,
The ordinance does not specifically mention not.
ma'am, this is
not
about
applying-
26046.
46?
Yes, specific.
I'm sorry, I heard 48.
48. I mean, 48. I
48.
apologize.
Right? It is
It's-
48.
Is this
Yeah.
is?
Okay,
48.
so
I apologize.
the ordinance does not specifically say anything about detainers. The Immigrant Trust Act specifically says that police departments in New Jersey do not have to abide by detainers. We want you to acknowledge that you will change the ordinance to specifically say Trenton Police Department will not honor detainers, whether it's federal law or not. Our state law says that we do not have to abide by detainers. I wanted to come up here and say that again, considering that you cut our time from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just want to make a correction. I heard, Jenny, you said that you did everything legally possible that you're allowed to do. So it's voluntary. When you have detainers, it's actually voluntary requests. They're administrative requests. You do not actually have to accept. So legally, you are allowed, local jurisdictions are allowed to decide for themselves whether they're going to honor them or not. Now, we said all we wanted was do not honor them if they do not come with judicial warrants. That's all it was. So you actually are legally, but you are choosing to erase due process. So I just want to make that clear. You said we did what we're legally allowed to do, but no, you are legally allowed to do that. The ACLU has told you, you are legally allowed to. You are choosing to remove due process from immigrants. I just want to make that very clear to the public and to everyone on here. And then I have one question. Can I just know from every single one of you, how many people actually believe in abolish ICE? I just want to know, just for the record, if you could just clearly say where you stand on abolish ICE. Thank you.
I think that's not a question.
Are there any other members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Okay.
Good evening. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Faranas. I'm with Resistencia. We've been at Delaney Hall for pretty much the entire time. There are people on a hunger strike, labor strike. So a lot of us in this room have seen some of the worst of the worst. Like we've been pepper sprayed, tear gas, beaten on. You probably heard about it all night. So I just hope you guys know, like there's multiple of us. And actually, we're not even all here right now. There's still people over there because we care so much about our community. So I just want to reiterate what Asma just said. This is optional. You don't have to allow ICE agents to carry out what the police says. Oh, we want to take these people or we want to take them over here to immigration and have them deported possibly. That's not something you really have to do if it's an administrative warrant. So I don't get why this is something that's considered like nuanced or complicated. I think this is pretty straightforward. If there's no judicial warrant, then why is it that police collaborates with ICE, who we know to be extremely violent? We know them to be extremely aggressive. Why is this the image and the idea that you want to put forth for us? Like, we know how it is firsthand.
So what are you guys telling us? That these are people you want to protect? You want to abide by them? You want to collaborate with them? Because that's pretty much the sentiment that I'm getting and a lot of us are getting. Like, we appreciate the ordinance, but if there's something in there that you technically don't have to allow, which is very violent and harmful, then why are you allowing it? There's no good reason for it. I don't know. I hope that you guys are thinking. I hope you guys are wondering the same thing. If there's no judicial warrant, why does police collaborate with ICE? Shouldn't exist. It really shouldn't exist. And I think it was a great question that Asma just asked. How many people here actually believe in abolishing ICE? Because they've only really been around for like several decades. That's about it. ICE didn't used to exist before. This is the land of immigrants, the land of freedom. I mean, this is what it's supposed to be. We don't have to live like this. And you guys can actually say, we stand with you. We want to protect others. We want to protect immigrants. You're all here because of immigrants. You might be yourselves. A lot of us are. So this is stolen land from natives. No one owns this land, really. Definitely not. ICE, why are they put in charge? I mean, I think I'm just going on and on saying the same things, but I really hope if you're going to take anything away from this, it's that you do have more power than you are exerting right now. You do. You have way more power than you're choosing to exert. Thank you.
I just want to speak to what the city council president said earlier. Even though she's left, I'll say it anyway.
The council president has not left. She's commiserating right now, so please be respectful, sir.
I did not mean to be disrespectful. I just meant I want her to know that I'm speaking to what she had said earlier. I hear what she's saying, that this is an opportunity to set a precedent, and I'm glad that she sees that opportunity to set a precedent. And so when we say that it's not enough, I just want to say that it's dangerous to set a precedent that doesn't go far enough, because then other local municipalities may follow our precedent, but they may follow us in not going far enough. And so I appreciate that she sees that this is a precedent and that she's excited at that precedent. But when the community says it's not enough, then we are only encouraging her to set the strongest precedent possible. And I apologize. I did not mean to be disrespectful. Thank you.
Hi, I wasn't intending to come up and speak today, and I see that you're all trying to do the right thing, but I want to remind you that there are many people here that were on the front lines at Delaney Hall, including the detainees and their families, that are giving 110% of themselves to preventing future harm, to get their message out. And I'm hearing that 85% is good enough. And I feel like that's an unfair, 85% is nothing. Those folks are out there, the detainees are not eating, not working for a reason. Their families are suffering, they can't see them. There are folks that are getting beaten up by New Jersey State Police. That's 100%, 120%. 85% is not enough. And I'm encouraging you, I know you all care about your community. You're all here for a reason. This is a hard job that you're doing, but you have got to do more. 85%, in any line of work, 85% doesn't cut it, so I don't know why it should here. So I'm reminding you and encouraging you to please, please find the strength within and pass this ordinance without those loopholes. This is really, really, really important that you set the right precedent, as this gentleman just before me said, so that you can really take the stand and say, we did the right thing when it really counted. So 10 years, 20 years from now, people don't look back and say, well, they were cowards. They did 85%. Let's not do that. Let's do 100 or more percent, please. Thank you so much.
Hello.
One moment, ma'am. One moment. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to echo what everybody else is saying. I am here with Resistencia en Acción, who are on the ground every day fighting for constitutional rights that we all have. And I wanted to say that, yes, 85% sounds good, but to me that sounds like you get what you get and you don't get upset. And if you are not upset, if you are not angry, then what are you doing? Because people's rights are getting violated. And just because it might seem like it's too far away from us, that could be us tomorrow. That could be you. Once we set a precedent that violating someone's rights is okay, then that is going to follow everyone. And then nobody's going to be safe. So until everybody's safe, nobody is. There's people out there, imagine how desperate you have to be to go on a hunger strike. And that's their only choice at this point. And that's why we are here, to make sure that their voices are heard, because it's not right. It's not fair. Just because somebody decided, I like what somebody said, that, oh, there isn't enough space anymore, so now we're going to start making up stuff. That is not okay. This nation was built by immigrants, and immigrants is what make this great. So please pass the ordinance without the loopholes. Make sure there is accountability, and make sure there is absolutely no room for collaboration between police and ICE, because they lie. They are liars, and you have the opportunity to set a precedent to the nation. Don't miss that opportunity, because history is going to remember this, and you are part of it. So don't miss the opportunity to make it right and make it 100%, because 85 is just not cutting it. Thank you.
Yeah, so I just want to reiterate one point about effectiveness and enforceability. These are bullies, okay? These are bullies. I understand that it's a good start, but if you think that ICE agents and this administration overall is going to follow a sheet of paper, that's crazy to me, and I cannot believe we're still talking about this. I appreciate that there's legislation, but as I said before, bullies respond to strength. That's what they respond to. So all of you that are doing this good work, that you say that you're hearing us and you put everything that you wanted, what do you want? We need you to be out there. We need you to be vocal, and we need you to show your faces and stand up. We need strength. We need leaders to show and to stand up with their voice, because outside of that, all of these laws are meaningless. They've already said that, they've already shown that they're willing to override everything. So I don't understand why an ordinance, which isn't even complete, is good enough in your eyes. I just don't understand it when we have literal Nazis walking our streets. Why? And that's why I say we don't just need legislation. We need every single one of you on every platform you have to boldly state this is not going to happen here, because that's all bullies respond to. They don't give a damn otherwise. So please keep that in mind, because one ordinance is not going to do anything if they come down here and decide what they're going to do anyway. Thank you.
Again, I want to say that I do think that the ordinance is a good start. And I am glad that you are taking action. And as I stated before, I don't believe it's enough. ICE pepper sprayed a U.S. senator. You think that they're going to care about a piece of paper? It's laughable. Truly, what we're dealing with, these are not people who follow the rules. They don't care about decorum. They don't care about reputation. They don't care. They are in it for the money, and they are in it because of some misplaced anger at their own situation, and they're taking it out on innocent people. And I know that you guys have a very difficult job, state employees. You have how many people here every couple of weeks yelling at you about anything and everything? We've all seen Parks and Rec. We know what that's like. I know that you must have a difficult job. I'm a nurse. I respect that. And serving the public is not easy, and the public does not make it easy. But you chose to be here. I chose to be a nurse. You chose to serve on the city council to help people. And what we're asking you to do is to take out this loophole to help protect the people that you promised to serve. Trenton makes, the world takes. It's on the frickin' bridge. So Trenton should be making an example. And then the world can take the hint. This behavior is not okay. I appreciate your efforts. But we need to do more. Thank you.
Is it okay that I translate for her? She's going to be speaking in Spanish. Is that okay?
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Leticia Gómez. Soy de Guatemala y he estado aquí, y estoy aquí para dar testimonio sobre lo que he vivido aquí. Lo que he vivido, estoy aquí desde 4 años en Trenton. Tengo 2 hijos, uno de 9 años y una bebé de 10 meses.
Good afternoon. My name is Leticia Gomez. I am from Guatemala and I'm here to testify about what I have lived through. I have been here in Trenton, New Jersey for 4 years, and I have a 10-month-old and a 9-year-old and my husband who is detained.
Mi esposo fue detenido por migración. Trabajé en una panadería aquí en Trenton, donde constantemente recibía acoso por parte de uno de los supervisores. No sabía qué hacer, la verdad. Tenía miedo de contar a alguien y que me botaran del trabajo. Hasta que un día decidí contarle a mi esposo, como era de esperar. Él fue a reclamar y tuvo una pelea con esta persona.
I worked at a bakery here in Trenton where I was constantly harassed by one of the supervisors. Honestly, I did not know what to do. I was afraid to tell anyone because I feared I would lose my job. Until one day I decided to tell my dad, and as expected, he went to confront that person and got into a fight with him.
Luego mi trabajo llamó a la policía y a mí me despidieron. Al tiempo lo arrestaron. Él tuvo una corte con la policía. Él salió inocente. Ese día tuvo él su salida, pero la policía lo entregó a migración.
Then my workplace called the police, but we had already left the place, and I was fired a few days later. The police arrested my husband, but he went to court and was declared innocent. However, that did not matter because immigration officers were waiting for him outside. They took him to the Elizabeth Detention Center.
Lo llevaron a detención de Elizabeth. Actualmente está en Luisiana. Espera su deportación para Guatemala. Hoy, gracias a Resistencia en Acción, estoy contando esta injusticia que destruyó mi familia. Ellos me ayudaron a coger valor. No queremos esta colaboración de policía con ICE. Esto separa, destruye familias. Me quedé sola con mis hijos. Gracias.
Currently, he is in Louisiana waiting to be deported to Guatemala. Today, thanks to Resistencia, I'm here telling his story of injustice that destroyed my family because they helped me find the courage to speak up. We do not want more collaboration between the police and ICE.
Your time.
This separates and destroys family. Now I'm left alone with my daughter and continue fighting for dignity.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emery Capola, and I'm a rapid responder Resistencia. I was also up at Delaney Hall this past week, and I would urge any of you or all of you to go up to Delaney Hall because what I saw of ICE was beyond atrocious. I mean, they are extremely aggressive, they're violent, they're violating their oath, they're actually transgressing the property line where they're supposed to remain within, they're targeting people. I saw them tear people's goggles off, I saw them spray people in the eyes. They intimidate, they bully, they're completely untrained, they're unqualified. I can speak from experience. I know these people are not up to the job. It's been reported widespreadly. And yet at the same time, we're allowing them to come in our community and terrorize our people. And it's not just about the fact they're deporting, abducting people, they're also doing severe psychological harm to people. I know of one 9-year-old girl who is thinking suicidal thoughts. I've spoken to the parents who say their children are terrified to go to school, not because they're afraid of being taken, because they're afraid that they're going to come home to an empty house with no parents. So I think that and when we speak of the community, I'm not speaking just of Hispanic people. Haitian people are also targets. Anyone in this community who they think may or may not be legal in this country, they're targets. So I urge you to do everything you can to make this community as safe as possible. I know you've worked very hard on what you've done so far. We appreciate that. But anything you can do to strengthen this will be much appreciated. And I can tell you, the community as a whole, not just psychologically, they're suffering physically. And for whatever it's worth, the economy is also suffering because people are afraid to go out and purchase, and people are just afraid for their lives. So I hope that you take this into consideration and act accordingly. I thank you for your time.
Good evening, Council. Hi, Madam President. We met at a meeting where I held your baby, just like this one. This is the 10-month-old baby that you just heard about 2 speakers ago. I will fix that. I want to speak as many things here, but I think what's hasn't left my mind was since Friday, I visited with my little baby, her father at Elizabeth Detention Center. Elizabeth Detention Center is owned by CoreCivic. Delaney Hall is owned by Geo Group. I don't think that's new news to everyone here. I teach a course on human rights law, and in it we discuss disaster capitalism and how for-profit multinational corporations profit off of either natural disasters or disasters that are created. And the immigration crisis that has been created is one that is being dealt with through the now more than 80% owned by private corporation prisons that we have. So why am I here pleading to you? Oh, that's better. Sorry about the fuzziness. That is basically to echo what Elizabeth said about collaboration with ICE. You are, and I know you are here to serve the people, serve the population. You are on the side of us. And I know you're not on the side of for-profit industries that dictate the way that federal detention facilities operate and the way that ICE officers and agents operate every morning when they rip families apart. I know that you are not on that side. So please, when considering this ordinance, and I am very grateful that you are, please remember whose side you're on and who you represent. It is not Geo and CoreCivic. It is the people. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you. My name is Dave Schrager. I am a member of the executive board of Resistencia en Acción New Jersey, for more than 15 years, we've been fighting to stop deportations. And I want to thank you for what you're doing. I believe that I proceed from the position that you're acting in good faith. I don't expect that none of us are perfect, and ordinances are not perfect, but we would hope at a minimum you would take into account that anybody taken by ICE has to be given due process. I'm not an attorney, but I know this much. All persons in the United States are entitled to due process, including undocumented immigrants. And due process means that you only arrest someone with a judicial warrant. I would ask that you ensure that the Trenton Police Department does not cooperate in arresting people without a judicial warrant. That's all we're asking for. I believe that's all we're asking for. I mean, well, I'd like to shut down ICE completely, but I don't think the Trenton City Council has the power to do that. But anyway, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Darius Sarache Capitula. I'm a resident of Monmouth County, but I received my education here in Mercer. I've spent a lot of time in the city and with its people, and they were both very dear to me. Tonight, I would like to make a moral appeal to council, because at the end of the day, you are going to pass what resolution you will. And I think that you need to hope and pray that what you do is good enough, because if it isn't, the blood of everyone taken by ICE and brutalized by ICE is going to be on your hands. This is a city of over 100,000 immigrants, and each and every one of them is at risk under these conditions, and they're looking to you as Republic leaders to protect them. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
No, I'm so upset about the resurgence of white supremacy that we are seeing under this president. It's a resurgence that really needs to be stopped before it goes any further than it already has. I think I know the people that are in ICE. I think they're my people in a way, because my family has been in this country since before the revolution. And they have a sense of entitlement, and they're scared that they're losing their power. And we can't give in to them. We really can't. If we don't stop it now, I don't know where it's going to go. So please do whatever you can.
Hi there, my name is Christy Chandler. I've been a medic on the front lines at Delaney Hall. And I just want to say that if you've had the same public education that I've had, we all had those books we read, that Number the Stars, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and we all thought, I hope you did. I hope you thought, what would I do in that moment? Would I do the right thing? Would I do everything in my power to stop that from happening? And this moment is here for us. Are you doing everything? Are you giving everything you've got? We're here. This is it. What are you doing? Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you'll humor me one moment, I'm just going to speak with the attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I believe some amendments needed to be announced.
Very well, Madam President. If you would like to ask for a motion to approve this ordinance at this time.
Yeah,
Do we have a motion on this ordinance at this time?
We did, Mr. Garcia, I have a question. I know some amendments, some minor amendments were made ahead
Yes.
of the meeting. How do we address those?
I'll defer to the attorney momentarily, but I do have those amendments as were discussed. Want to do it now? I've been instructed to ask, Madam President, I've been instructed to ask you to ask for a motion to amend some clerical errors within the ordinance. And at this time, shall I read those?
Yes, please. May we
I'll
have a
read
motion?
those particular clerical
Yes.
errors at this time that we have discovered and the changes. In section 3A of ordinance 26-48, section 3A, shall not to change to shall in the third, that's the third paragraph, section 3A. In section 3B, shall to be changed to shall not. In section 3D, shall to be changed to shall not. In section 4, under the area that says scope, and I believe that's scope and description. That is a change of afforded by with a comma to eliminate that comma to read afforded by those state law requirements. And in section 5A, shall to be changed to shall not. That's the extent of the changes that I have of the latest changes to the ordinance. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve those changes and amend the ordinance.
May we have a motion to approve those changes?
So moved.
Second, but Mr. Garcia, can you repeat? I'm sorry, because I missed some of it.
Sure.
Three, I got like the first three I missed.
Certainly, Councilwoman Gonzalez, if you give me one moment, I'll be right with you.
There was a printout given to council too that was left on the dais.
I'm sorry?
There was a printout for all of council that was left on the dais.
Yes. Council, you can follow along with me and I'll go over these one more
Gotcha.
time.
Okay, I'll look at it.
So under section 3A, in the third paragraph of 3A, shall not would be changed to shall. Everyone with me? Yes?
Right.
Under section 3B,
Why are we putting
shall
A federal immigrant?
to be changed to shall not.
The head shall not.
Shall I continue?
No, you're in the wrong place.
I'm not, 3A.
No, right here.
That's because you have a corrected version in front of you.
Shall not.
3D, same thing, shall to shall not. And section 4, under the, in the first portion under scope and what does that say, Mr. Kaloji? Scope and description, I believe. Scope and relationship to state law. It says afforded by, we're eliminating a comma behind the words afforded by. Just taking out the comma. And under section 5A, shall will be changed to shall not. Any questions regarding
What you're saying.
from the council, any questions regarding the amendments?
Madam President?
I ask for any questions to the council, not to the public right now.
We need to
We
vote on an amendment.
We
Voting.
reposted.
Thank you. Yes.
We had to.
Mr. Kaloji?
Yeah, just so everyone understands, all of these changes reflect exactly what the citizen groups wanted. There was some mix-up with shalls and shall nots because this thing had undergone so many revisions and so many changes. Just for example, we're changing, I just want to, the third paragraph, it says, nothing in this section shall not prohibit. Well, it shouldn't have read that. It said nothing in this section shall prohibit the police department from responding to emergencies, et cetera. So there were like 4 changes that had to be made, but they don't do anything other than support what the citizens groups have wanted in this ordinance.
And just so everybody's clear, in the time that we went and spent over this ordinance, I do have each stage of this saved so I can show when these changes, that these changes were not going over or that I were missed.
So now we need to vote. We need a motion to amend.
Madam President, at this time, if you'd like to ask a motion to amend as we've just illustrated.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the amendments.
So moved?
Second.
I believe, okay. Thank you. Roll call.
Madam
Yes.
President. So with these changes, the shall to the shall not, and inserting the nots in there, are we looking to do other amendments to this? Ordinance?
At this point, Councilwoman, there's no other amendments that we will be making this evening other than this portion. We can come back to the table because there is a section that I want to discuss that they'd like to discuss, and we could come back to the table with. But right now, these shalls and shall nots are the ones that need to be changed
So this is
to
still
speak
not
to
what-
the correct language. Everything else, from what I understand, is in agreement except for one critical part with regards to detainers that we could come back and revisit. Mr. Garcia, you can proceed.
Is there any other discussion? I'm sorry.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Council President, thank you. I just want to be clear. We're just voting on these amendments right now that you
Correct.
just said.
Correct.
At this
It
time.
doesn't determine whether the ordinance passes or not.
Correct.
This is just to amend and correct the
This
language in the
stuff
ordinance.
here now. Thank you.
Yes.
Councilman Gonzalez. Your light's on.
Oh, I'm just.
No? Anybody else?
I do have.
Councilwoman Edwards.
Thank you. The amendments are great. My concern is whether this satisfies the groups, inquiries and things like that. I know detainment is not in here but it does sound like these amendments are addressing the needs and wants of Resistencia and anyone that is opposing ICE. So is there still a conflict with this ordinance? Are we going to come back with amendments? Should we just wait until we have the amendments and then bring the ordinance back?
Well, council basically has a couple of options, Councilwoman. Number one, these amendments are just to clean up the language. These are more clerical, ministerial, almost like you would say, quote, typos, unquote. It wasn't meant to be drafted that way. But again, everything in there is positive in the context of what the citizens have been looking for. So the first vote would be to amend it to clean up the ordinance. The second vote will be, do we pass the ordinance? And if we pass the ordinance, it becomes an ordinance, it becomes law, but there's nothing to preclude us from considering further additions to it down the road. Or if the council decides not to pass it, then nothing is going to be enacted. So it's really a judgment call. Do we want to get a lot of the stuff out there and get it on the books and then maybe possibly discuss additions in the future? Or do we, if we vote it down, then nothing gets put out there? So it's really a question of what's the better choice.
Mr. Kaloji, if this fails tonight, then what?
I'm sorry?
If this fails tonight, then what?
Well, if it fails, it's a dead issue. It can be reintroduced at the next meeting, which of course, is several weeks away. And obviously the whole process would then start all over again.
So,
But it requires 4 council votes to pass it.
Mr. Kaloji, I'm sorry. I thought it was some time before ordinance could be reintroduced after it fails.
1 year, I think.
1
We
year.
had an old rule about if you brought up an issue, it couldn't be brought up for a year. We killed that with an ordinance last year, Mr.
Okay.
Clark. That was the Robin
Okay.
Vaughn issue. Yeah, that's
Okay.
not an issue, CP.
right, so we amend this right now with the shalls and shall nots, but there's still going to be further amendments to this. So do we amend this as it is, and vote on this, it sounds like it's a split vote because it doesn't sound like the people in attendance are in agreement with this ordinance. My judgment, I don't want to vote yes on something that they're not satisfied with. I would rather us get this right before we go to vote on it. So can we amend this? I'm fine with the amendments, but should we do the second reading after we amend and, go through all of that? Because I don't want people in here with pitchforks and torches because we approved an 85% ordinance. Let's get this right. Because we do want to work with the community on this. No one up here is anti-immigration. No one up here is trying to assist ICE or anything like that. So I don't want that to be misconstrued with what we're going to take action on tonight. So does it make sense to eliminate any redundancies of approving this just to bring it back to amend it again? So let's amend it tonight, but I don't want this to die and then the public says we didn't do anything about it, and just bring it back when it's ready.
So Councilwoman Edwards, would you like to make an amendment to table this after we approve the amendments?
Sure.
Well, there's a motion pending now to.
I said
revise
after.
the
Yes, there's
ordinance.
a motion to amend, so that's
the language.
So I said
we'll vote
after
on
that, yes.
And then we could motion, does it come back for second reading or does it start all the way over with first reading? If we were to table for.
Not if we table it, it could come back. If
The
it
ordinance, you
fails.
can move to table the ordinance to a date specific, and then it would have to be re-advertised, et cetera, and we would have to have a new hearing. If you don't pass amendments tonight, we would have to amend it at that time, the language changes, and anything else we decide to put in there.
And then we advertise those changes.
Right.
Council President?
Yes, Council Vice President.
Thank you, ma'am. I think clearly we need to have a vote on these amendments, but additionally, we worked very hard on this. We met several times with the organization. They do represent some of the community, don't represent all the community. There were a number of issues, including a 1,000-foot buffer that was requested to cover TPD responding to incidences, providing perimeter barriers. Also, we had to discuss use of TPD for task forces with federal government, state government. We had many issues. A lot of things were contested. I think we've come to a very good place for this. The issue with detainers, we have to also hear the legal side of that and have a full determination. Our understanding is that Trenton Police Department is not honoring detainers and they are not collaborating with ICE. And when they've been asked on our Zoom calls to provide evidence of collaboration, they've been unable to provide collaboration, including an accusation to use restrooms at the Trenton Police Department. So while we are all very empathetic to this issue, we all want to solve this issue as best we can within the limitations of municipal government versus the role of federal government. I don't want to use the phrase, we can't pay for the sins of Newark, but we can. Delaney Hall is an aberration. Delaney Hall is a disgusting place. What's happening there, we all know that. The conduct there, but we cannot do anything with it. Newark is Newark, Delaney Hall is Delaney Hall. This body took an extremely strong position in February with 26046, a resolution stating that the city of Trenton did not want, need, or desire a detention center in our city. Particularly with Geo Global and the other group, but Geo Global previously owned that when it was operated as a Bo Robinson Center. So we've been at the forefront. We've been at the tip of the spear on this issue more than any other municipality, I would say, in the state of New Jersey. So I would encourage my colleagues to pass this tonight. And if there are improvements to be made, and there may be an adjustment, and it might be on this one point of detainer, and hopefully it is only on point of detainer, then we can come back and improve. But we need to get something in place tonight, because I will say this. As someone, I've heard the word concentration camp. I visited the concentration camp. I've been to Dachau in Munich, Germany. We are not there yet, but we want to make sure we never get to that place. But this ordinance tonight is a start to make sure and to be an example, and as Council President wisely indicated, a beacon to other towns, to other parts of this country. After Roxbury had their issue with the detention center. Trenton was the first municipality to say, heck no, we don't want a detention center here. We have the eyes of the federal government on us too. I promise you. And I'm going to add one more statement. When the Proud Boys came to Home Depot in Ewing, and I know a bunch of you were out there doing a good job, making good trouble. My wife and I were in the parking lot when they showed up. You guys didn't see them yet. We were the ones that warned you. We were the ones that called the Ewing Police Department. And we're also the ones that documented it for the Trentonian newspaper. So the rest of the county, the rest of the state would know that the Proud Boys were doing what they were doing and trying to cause problems for you. And trust me, I'm on their list for other reasons. So please don't ever think that anyone on this council doesn't have the concern of undocumented folks in our community, doesn't care about them, and isn't trying their best. And every single person on this council I know is invested. And no, we won't have blood on our hands. We've done the work. We've put our necks out. We've verbalized. We have said everything that needs to be said. So please, let us continue doing our job, because we're at risk too. Not in the same exact way, but we are doing our job. And you keep doing your job, because that's important also. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President.
Council President.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes, so I just want to say a few words to, in regard to this. Most of the things that have mentioned on both sides, listening to the audience, listening to the Resistencia and all of the other community members who came and spoke. My colleague just said it, Council Vice President, very well. All of us on this council have fought against ICE in some way, shape, or form. I teach in the city of Trenton. I've been teaching for 23 years, and a lot of my families are undocumented. I have spent hours at Homeland Security fighting for my families. I have visited different places advocating for my families. So when this issue came up, when most people didn't want us to do an ordinance to agree with any of the things that you all were saying, we took the time out to work diligently and include you in this ordinance. So it's almost, I'm trying to be careful with what I say, but I also want to acknowledge really quick, Mr. Kaloji, who we have one of the best attorneys in the state of New Jersey. And this man, since the very first time you all came here, he was very impressed with the work that you have done. And he worked tirelessly to make sure that we included all of your wants and needs into this ordinance to the most that we could do legally. I understand that it may not be everything that you want, but as stated before, this is a step in the right direction where we are trying to put things in place. None of us, I do not want our Trenton Police Department helping ICE at all. We have been in the front lines with you all. We have been there when some of you have been arrested. We have fought for you to not be arrested. And I'm speaking for myself personally. So, just the fact that, some people are saying we'll have blood on our hands. No, I will not have blood on my hands. I continue to fight for our families, and not just the Latino. I'm a proud Latina here, the one who represents the Latina community. So don't tell me that I'm going to have blood on my hands for not representing. I have my Haitian brothers and sisters that live next door to me get taken away from by ICE this past summer. And I'm out there fighting with them. So don't tell me that I don't care about the undocumented people. It's a slap in my face for someone to say that when I work tirelessly all the time for everyone in this city and beyond. So I just wanted to state that for the record. The work that we put into this, I really feel like it's a good step in the right direction. And if there are other amendments that we do want to revisit, I'm all for listening and including that also. But I just wanted to let that be known. I do not have blood on my hands. I am actually fighting for the people when you don't see me fighting for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Frisbee.
Thank you, Council President. So I'm going to echo a lot of what my colleagues have said. You don't know. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that we're not doing it. We have been out. We have ran out when we heard that there was an issue going on in our community. I have left my job, my 9-to-5 job. This is not my 9-to-5 job. I've left my 9-to-5 job to go out and protect my Latino brothers and sisters and my Haitian brothers and sisters. One happened literally right outside of my job. You don't know the work that we are also doing. And again, there is going to be no blood on my hands. Absolutely not, because I know that I'm doing all that I can do. I'm very clear on that. And you may not know from looking, I am a proud partial Cubano. But you don't know that. You judge by what you see on the out. You don't know who we are. You don't know where we go. You don't know where we go out, where we go home to. Our families, our friends, our loved ones. And for you to say that all this work that has been done, and you've gotten 85%, and you say that it's not enough, not even as a start. So if it's voted down, then you get 85% of nothing. And so we're trying to work with you, but that's just, it's called give and it's called take. You don't get to have everything that you want. It is working together. And it is not, okay, well, we don't get 100% of what we want, then we don't get anything. So if we say, okay, it fails tonight, you are starting from scratch. And person after person after person has come up here to this microphone, and I've been making little tick marks. The majority of you have told me you don't want this ordinance. So I'm letting you know, I will oblige. I will not give my vote for the ordinance. And then we can do it and we can start however you want to start it over again. We're trying to work with you. I don't want anyone to be mistreated. I've been an advocate for over 10 years. Over 10 years, doing the work, out in the streets, going into places that I know most of you may not have even been to, or maybe you've gone to once during this period. I've been doing it for over 10 years now. I see a woman with a baby. That you don't want parents separated. You don't want to worry about whether or not a father is going to be taken while he's on his way to work. You don't want a child to leave for school and not know whether or not when they come back home, is mommy going to be there? Is daddy going to be there? Am I going to make it back home? These are things that keep us awake at night. These are things that we're trying to do better. We're watching, we're having conversations with everyone that we can, including our officers, making sure that they understand the law and that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Reporting back, making sure the director is made aware when there are issues. Make sure you had your turn. Thank you. You had your turn.
Security,
you can go.
Security, please.
You can go. I was respectful and didn't interrupt you. Be respectful back. So, and I will continue. So, if the answer is that you don't want this, then you don't want it. Okay, we voted down. But we're trying. We're trying here. And there's no other municipality. I dare you to go and tell me about what other municipality is doing half what we're doing here. 85% or more. Those are my remarks.
Council President.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Thank you. So, in listening to my colleagues, I just want to echo the sentiments about who I am, right? I've stood with La Resistencia. I'm not for anyone being mistreated. Mi niña está una boricua by way of her father. I teach at Trenton Central High School. I deal with our students each and every day from when I first started back when the whole ICE situation started when Trump was first in office, sitting in classrooms, fearful with my students, watching and hearing on the news of the mistreatment of the people, trying to make sure that these kids were safe, getting to school, being in school, going home from school. And now here we are all over again, living in a crazy time. There will be no blood on Crystal Feliciano's hands. There will not be. I work with my colleagues. I appreciate them all taking the time to even entertain the ordinance that you brought to them. I appreciate that. I appreciate Mr. Kaloji and everybody and them plugging away and plugging away and plugging away. But what I don't appreciate is that when you come here and then you say it's not enough, when you say, yeah, it's this, but that, it's not fair to us. We talk about Delaney Hall and certain things and Mikey Sherrill. Y'all need to take that to the State House, right? Give it to where it's due. We can help from our perspective from where we are. I'm in full agreement with Councilwoman Frisbee. Look, I want y'all to be happy. I want us to be legal and right. So I'm going to vote no as well because you don't want it. And I don't want to we can't talk back and forth right now. So you don't want it. So I'm going to vote no to it right along with her. And then y'all all can figure it out. Because here's the thing. Mr. Kaloji said it. He said there could be conversations of change. It's possible. They didn't say that it was going to be and that it was going to happen. I listen and I hear, and I'm not here to sell a pipe dream, and I'm not saying that he is either, but what I'm saying is that in my opinion, respectfully, any conversations that y'all was gonna have about this to get this together, you should have had it. It should have been given to us full and complete, so that way we could sit here assured in what it is that we're going to say. And so I'm going to be very honest and very, very, very transparent with all of you. It sounds to me you don't want it. So no, you can't. So that's what it sounds like to me based on what you've all said. And so I will cast my vote accordingly to what I've heard here tonight. Thank you, Council President.
Look, listen, hey, you guys, this is not the time for that. Okay. I've heard my colleagues. I'm saddened by how people feel at this point in time, but it is clear by a lot of the comments that were made that this is not enough, so I can understand their sentiments. I am not there. I've worked really, really hard with some of my colleagues on this in the administration. It is true, we work part-time, and this is a part-time job that is actually a full-time job. I have spent endless hours having meetings, talking to our attorneys, talking to our police director and captains and in the administration and trying to make this work. I'm saddened by where we are right now. We are going to move to a vote. The vote is the vote, and that is that. Everybody is entitled to how they feel. I, myself, and nobody else can control how people are going to vote tonight. So, Mr. Garcia, please, at this time, can we move to a vote on this?
Madam President, I believe at this time we still have to vote on the amendments. So
Okay, please.
it was motioned in second, so I'll call a roll. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
This is to the amendments. Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes to the amendments.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes to the amendments.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes to the amendments.
Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg to the amendments.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. And now, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve ordinance 26-048.
Table, or you want to vote?
At this point in time, Mr. Garcia.
Yes.
As I understand, this ordinance is likely to die if we vote now. I would like to propose a motion to table this.
Is that a motion that you're making?
Yes, I'd
There
like
a
a motion
second?
to a table. We have a second.
Second.
Until a specific time or.
And until, is there any specific time for that?
Excuse me, can we
Table.
have order? Can we please have order?
She being arrested.
Can we please have order in the council?
Stop. I'll wait.
If you're being asked to leave, you need to leave. May we have order, please? Well, she needs to. Because she's not listening.
Madam President, shall I continue?
Yes, can we please proceed?
Thank you. It's been moved in second. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
And to be clear, this is being tabled. It is not failing.
And this
We
is
are
tabled
moving this.
until what specific date?
We are tabling this to 2 weeks from today, Mr. Garcia.
2 weeks.
Well, the next Tuesday meeting.
Excuse me, the next public meeting?
Yes.
Thank you. Table to the next public meeting.
Thank you. And my vote
Thank
is
you.
yes. Thank you.
Yep. Moving on, ordinance 26-49, ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 14 of the Code of the City of Trenton, traffic as it applies to parking restrictions for vans and trucks in residential areas.
No, go ahead, Mr.
Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards.
She stepped
Oh,
away.
sorry. Thank you. Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance, oh, wait, excuse me. That brings us to resolutions. Madam President, are there any
Yes.
resolutions that you or the council wish to extract from potential consent agenda this evening?
Any of you all have questions for resolutions at this time? None? Being none? We have none, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, if there are none at this time, then unless there are any items that require, and I don't see any items that require a roll call vote, if you want to ask for a motion to approve a consent agenda
I would like a motion to approve consent
consisting
agenda.
of ordinances 26-233.
No, or resolutions, sir.
Excuse me, resolutions, thank you.
Mhm.
Resolutions, it's been a bit of a long night. Resolutions 26-233, 213, 214, 215, 216, 217, 218. 219, 220, 221, 222, 223, 224, 225, 226, 227, 229, 230, 231, 232. And Madam President, we do have a walk-on resolution at this time, which would be 234, and that is a resolution recognizing June as Pride Month in the city of Trenton.
That is correct. Mr. Garcia, I just have a quick question. Was 26-228 pulled?
I believe so.
Okay. I know you didn't mention, I just wanted to be clear.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's
thank
not
you.
listed. It's not listed here. So in that case, it must not have made it past docket review.
Perfect. May we have a motion to approve those resolutions at this time?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yeah.
Thank you. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Thank you. Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. On to, excuse me, ordinances for first reading and introduction. Ordinance 26-046 has been pulled.
Thank you.
Ordinance 26-50 has also been pulled. Ordinance 26-51, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 20 Bryn Mawr Avenue and identifying the city tax map as block 6202, lot 36 pursuant to NJSA 40A 1213C to Claudia Marcela Castro Nemi for the sale price of $16,000. And Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved in second. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-052, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 1550, 1562, 1572 to 1574 Edgewood Avenue and identified on the city tax map as block 3660, lot 5, block 3661, lot 3660, 1.01, lot 5, and block 366001.01, lot 1, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Trenton Opportunity 6 LLC for the sale price of $76,000. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-53, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 42 General Green Avenue and identified on the city tax map as block 3202, lot 44, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Perla Esmeralda Almonte Cabrera for the sale price of $12,725. Madam President, if I want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-54, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 17 Jarvis Place and identified on the city tax map as block 2201, lot 25, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Roniel Cabrera Cruz for the sale price of $7,500. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve the ordinance.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-55, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 51 Laurel Avenue, identified on the city tax maps block 6303, lot 4, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Marcus Palmer for the sale price of $14,000. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-56, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 62 North Stockton Street and identified on the city tax map as block 603, lot 24, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Marcus Palmer for the sale price of $1,500. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve? So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 26-57, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 279 Walnut Avenue, identified on the city tax map as block 27601, lot 3, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Darrell Brown for the sale price of $14,000.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes. Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Motion carried. And, excuse me, if I could grab my agenda. Now is no longer in front of me. So I'm gonna steal yours. And And Madam President, that brings us to the point now. We have amended agenda, so public comment is done. You may move on to any individual you list for civic comment.
Yes, sir. I'm starting with Councilwoman Edwards.
Thank you, Madam President.
Clarify, Madam President, just so I know, what is the time limit for City Council this evening?
5 minutes, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Well, tonight was very eventful. I appreciate working with this council. I think we are one of the best councils this city has seen by far in a long, long time. We operate with efficacy, we operate with passion, we operate with good faith for our community in representation of everyone, no matter where they come from or what they look like or what language they speak. This council is very, very diverse in so many different ways, and we reflect the community that we live in. Our work reflects the voices of the people that we represent. I think that as we are working on legislation, it's important to remember that we are on the same side and that we should work together with that first and foremost. We may not always get things right the first shot, but we can always amend things. So let's have respect for one another. Let's be patient with each other. Let's get this right. I will say that what we're seeing with this whole immigration thing, the way that the police are handling peaceful protests, that is not something that we stand for. As an organizer myself of marches and protests and rallies from a number of things, I stand for peaceful protests. I have been on the front lines of a lot of issues, even against our very own police department. A lot of council members up here have been on the front line. We are the front line of the people. So I appreciate you all for all of the hours of work that you put in towards this ordinance, taking into consideration every advocate's voice, every immigrant's voice, and we will get it right. So I'm looking forward to this coming back. I'm looking forward to a resolution of this issue in a peaceful, peaceful manner. It is never acceptable to attack or shout or interrupt a formal meeting. We do have decorum rules in here. And so as we are reminding you of that as you're attending these meetings, just please keep that in mind. To carry yourself with respect, with professionalism. I've heard profanity shouted out loud at this mic throughout the room, throughout the night. That is unacceptable. It's disrespectful, especially when we have been nothing but allies to Resistencia in the immigration issues that our country is facing right now. So again, this is a touchy subject, and it has impacted us all in one way or another, whether it's a family member, a friend, a colleague, or just a member of our community, a neighbor, or just as a representative, whether you know an immigrant or not. It has affected us. It has impacted us. We are human. We have the same feelings you have. We feel the same way you feel. This is why this ordinance even exists in the first place, or is coming into existence. So with that said, that's all I have to say. Just have a good night.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I'd actually like to go next, if that's okay. Good evening, everybody. I want to go next just because I'm disheartened by what happened tonight. Myself and some of my colleagues did work really, really hard on this ordinance. We really tried to make it to where it was something that we could come to an agreement on. It was a step in the right direction. It was something that we were hoping that would set a precedent for other ordinances throughout the state of New Jersey. And I'm really, really saddened that, you know, we came to a point where it was going to fail. It was a split vote. I respect my colleagues. I respect their opinions. I think somebody from the organization said, well, I thought you said you were going to make it pass and then we could do amendments. I can't make my colleagues do anything. They have to be clear. I've voted, I've been the odd man out voting no to a 6-1 vote many times, so I understand. I'm hoping that I can get to a place, we could get to a place where we can make the necessary amendments and provisions and make everybody happy and makes this make sense. Now, let me be clear, okay? My father is proud Puerto Rican. I am half Latina, okay? But that doesn't matter in the end of the day or the grand scheme of things. I look the way I look and people may question who I am. My son is black and brown. He looks just like me. Skin color the same blue eyes. It does not matter how we look, but how we feel. I am Trenton through and through, born and raised, 1981, Trenton, South Trenton, Lamberton Street, 542 Lamberton Street, okay? I am for this city and everybody in this city, and I will fight. And if nobody understands that, or if people didn't see that tonight, that I will stand and fight for those people of the city of Trenton in every capacity, that I'm sorry, you're reading me the wrong way. I am here because you all voted for me. I am in this seat because I chose to serve the city. And I do believe that my colleagues want the same things, and I don't fault them. There were holes in this ordinance, and I get it. And everybody that stood up here to speak to this ordinance tonight, instead of praising it and say, this is a step in the right direction, it was shot down like, this is not what we want, and this is not good. So I understand where my colleagues came from tonight. So let's get this right moving forward. Let's get this right, because we all want the same thing. We do. So with that being said, thank you all for staying. I apologize for anybody that needs to be removed from council chambers anytime, but I'm not tolerating disrespect. We are all here to do a service, and we should all be respecting one another's times and when one another speaks. When everybody spoke tonight, we stayed quiet and we listened. When I got up at one point in time, I think somebody that came to the speaker said, oh, I left. No, I was in the back of the room speaking to Asma about this ordinance. So I just want to be clear with that. So thank you all again. With that, I will yield to Councilwoman Frisbee.
Thank you, Council President. So I want to thank everyone for coming out here this evening. I want to address Mr. Patterson. I am sorry that he still has to keep coming out here about the property that he's trying to protect his mother. I have the utmost respect for you, and I am hoping that we can get that rectified. I also want to acknowledge our constituents who came out regarding the firehouse. I hear you, I understand. I would not want to have that. And knowing that there is another place where they can actually have a banquet hall and a meeting place, a reception hall that's like 2 miles away or 2 blocks up, that's something to take into consideration. And again, the parking is of course, a great of importance over there. Before I go on to anything else I'm going to talk about this weekend, I'm a member of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, and have been so for over 9 years now. I currently serve as the leader of the Mercer County Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. This Saturday is our Party in Orange, Wear Orange, where we advocate for stronger gun laws, gun safety. We want you to be safe. We want our communities to be safe. We want our children, our elders, all of them. So this Saturday at 10 a.m. to 12 o'clock, we invite you to come out to Catwalder Park and help us as we wrap our arms around those who have been impacted, those families that have been impacted by gun violence. I ask you to save the date for Wednesday, June 10th. That's at 5:30 at the Cure Arena. That's 81 Hamilton Avenue. The Boys and Girls Club is having the Souped Up Sandwich Showdown, and that's going to be with our children. They're going to be out there displaying their wares and having a little bit of a fun contest where everybody wins. Now, with my remaining time, I do want to address what was going on in here this evening. One, I respect everyone that came in here, and I demand respect. I don't find myself to be disrespectful. I don't interrupt people. At least I try my best not to, and I give what I want back. I don't curse at people. I don't use profanity. I think that is disrespectful, and we're big enough, we're adult enough to use our big boy and big girl words without using profanity to get your message across. When it comes to protecting our neighbors, not having detainers, being penalized for having our residents being penalized for speaking their mind, being pepper sprayed, having the separation of family. Everyone deserves respect. Everyone should be treated like the human being that we all are. And I ask ICE, what would they feel like? What would it look like if they unmasked someone and they found that it was their family member that they were kneeling on? It was their family member that they pepper sprayed, or someone else that they knew, their loved one. Behind every single door, every individual is a human being. And we should be treated with that same respect. I appreciate the passion that was in this room this evening. I promise you I do. I go out, I advocate when I can and when I'm not supposed to. I get permission from my own employer to let her know that there are things going on, and it tugs at my heart. I was there when they told that a young girl didn't have a place to go because her parents were taken. She came home from school and there was no one there. I'm a mother. I'm a mother of a child who's differently abled. I never want the idea of my child coming home and myself or my son not knowing where their next places they're going to lay their heads. My heart goes out with you. We are doing what we can here, but I also ask you to give us grace. I don't know if anybody, this is not the norm for you to write an ordinance, bring it to us, and for us to put it on the floor. That is grace. You have no idea. That is not the norm for what we are doing here. And which is why we were all for, like, Madam President, I respect that is what you do. She chose to do that because she's a mother, a new mother. She doesn't want a child to be separated no more than she would want her own. So I ask you to hear us and remember, again, it is a give and take. You don't get everything you want, but we do have to work together. And like they said, there are amendments that can be done, but I ask you to work with us and not against us so we can get to the same goal, and that's to get our families to be safe. Get ICE the heck up out of our community. They don't belong here. They weren't invited here. We want them out of our community, and we want all the individuals, the eyes that you see. And I'm so sorry, sir, that you were treated with the disrespect that you were treated with. You should not have been treated that way. No one deserves to be treated that way, whether you're an immigrant or not. You're a human being. I wouldn't want it. So my heart goes to you, and I apologize on behalf of all those who did you wrong. With that, I'm going to use my last few seconds that I just ran out of and just say that the City of Trenton, portion of our mission statement, is recognizing that the people of Trenton have made us guardians of the public trust. We are committed to govern with integrity and fiscal responsibility, to seek excellence in the city's operations, and to serve all the city's people with respect and compassion. I wish everybody safety getting home and blessings.
Thank you, Councilwoman Frisbee. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes, I'm going to be short. I don't have much to say. Most have been said already, but I do want to acknowledge our community members who did come out. The young man, Mr. Patterson, all of the ones who spoke about the concerns with the fire department and also about the purchasing of properties. If you could just make sure to email us your concerns so that way we can try to help you get it addressed. Also, we do have a city stat meeting where you can speak to our directors in person, June 17th at 10 a.m. here in the chambers, the city council chambers. There are some events coming up too this Saturday, as mentioned, the Moms of Man Action. They have, we're also launching a fishing derby for our kids. That begins, I believe, at 9 a.m. at the Stacy Pond. I know Mercer County is having a multicultural festival, so there's a lot of things going on throughout our county. So please go out and support if you wish. To Resistencia, I just want to say, thank you for continuing to fight for people. Thank you for continuing to do the work every single day in the wee hours of the morning. But this is a sad day for us here on council to see what occurred tonight, because for all of us here who work really, really hard to help you all as much as possible, I mean, to be disrespected in a way that we were disrespected tonight is just a sad situation. But with that being said, I'm going to say good night. Thank you for being present.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Really, really quickly, I know Councilwoman Gonzalez honored them, but again, another honor recognition to Senior Kappa Affairs of the Trenton Alumni Chapter Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, again, who Councilwoman Gonzalez honored tonight, and also congratulations to Michael Hurtado on your appointment to the board. Thank you so much. CVP Williams.
Thank you, Council President. I'll just say my colleagues are very eloquent. I said what I said earlier. Hopefully some folks will retain what I said. And I am glad that I said it because it's important. We move forward. It's not in the way we were hoping to, but we move forward. I want to first say congratulations, Mr. Hurtado, for his reappointment to become a full member for 4 years. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did during my time on zoning, sir. I also want to thank my constituents, our constituents, Councilwoman Gonzalez, Councilwoman Edwards, Ms. Kuzmich, and also Mr. Slowitsky regarding the firehouse. It is a problem. It's going to be a problem. We have to figure out a way. It was approved by a planning board, which is their want. That's their mission. But hopefully we can find some type of solution because parking will be terrible and there's a lot of unanswered questions. Also want to thank the residents of East Trenton, particularly Ms. Pearson who came to speak tonight regarding concerns in their neighborhood. We Alpha Shredded, we got answers to questions that were important for the community, and I'm thankful for that. And just some things happening. We have on the 17th going to be our North Ward Citizen Police Advisory Council meeting, Galilee Baptist Church, 440 MLK. Please join us. I got word today we will be having interim Public Works Director, I believe she will be interim at that point, possibly. Raina Segura with us tonight, and interim Director Paul Harris at our meeting to discuss initiatives, issues that the administration will be bringing forth later this year. Also, we continue partnership City Council, Kiwanis Club of Trenton, and Trenton Town Market with the 250 Flags for 250 Years campaign. The goal is to get 250 American flags up in the city by Patriots Week. Right now, I believe that 30 flags have been distributed. If anyone would like a free flag, they come with a bracket, easy peasy to install. If you need help, let us know. Please email Trenton Kiwanis Club at gmail.com. That's TRENTON Kiwanis, KIWANIS Club, CLUB at gmail.com. I also want to thank Public Works and Natural Resources and Administration for several cleanups that have been requested in the past few weeks, but most particularly for all the great work you've done in the Mill Hill neighborhood for the upcoming garden tour this Saturday from 12 to 5 that people can attend. You get tickets at Artworks. But also for cleaning up the huge lot behind the Trenton Quaker Meeting House on Montgomery near Hanover. It was in really bad shape, and that will be a really nice space for the neighborhood and for that area. It's a massive difference. This Saturday, as was mentioned by my colleague, we have the Fishing Derby from 9 to 1:30 p.m. It's located at Stacy Pond, 1399 Riverview Drive along the river. There's no admission fee, so if you have any young ones or just want to have a good time watching some kids having a great time fishing, please bring them and spread the word. This is a great annual event that the city does, and it's this coming Saturday. And then finally, I just want to say thank you for attending this meeting. Thank you for your citizenship. Thank you for being concerned, and please spread the word to other Trentonians to come. There are a lot of good things happen, and this is a great council. We've made a great difference together, and we need to keep Trenton's train moving forward. God bless.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Mr. Garcia, at this time, may we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Thank you. I'll call the roll. Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano. Oh, excuse me, Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez. Vice President Williams,
Good night.
Council President Figueroa Kettner.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you all for coming out. God
Good
bless.
night, everybody.